Hi guys, welcome to Drumfield Cafe. My name is Eric Boudreau. Welcome to that pretty cool edition. We'll have a lot of artists. We'll sit in English first and in French after that. Je vais le dire en français après pour les auditeurs en français. I'm very glad and happy to have you here. The channel have grown crazy since I started it, and we're going to have more and more and more new things coming out in the second seasons. So if you never have been in that platform before, all the show have been pre-recorded on YouTube live, but they are also on the YouTube channel of Drumfield Cafe. So I invite you to go check it out. We had a lot of great artists. The last World Edition, we had Daru Joan, Todd Zuckerman, Rick Latham, and name it. So I invite you to go check out those shows. Just for a little reminder, please go subscribe the Facebook, the YouTube, and the Instagram channel. You can have access to a lot of information. For example, yesterday on the French version, last minute we had like a contest for winning a drum shell from the company Luca Drums from Canada, and it was quite fast. And if you are not on Facebook, you won't have this information. And we had a student contest, is already done, but the show with the student is next week. And we had plenty of great prizes, like a pad from Ebenor Drums, a cymbal from PGB Custom Cymbal, sorry, a cajon from Puck. After that, a drum beater from Lavry, a 2 pair of Vader drumstick from Steve Music. So I really invite you to go check it out, subscribe. You can have access to contests and a lot of things like that. Just another reminder, the June 17th is the last official world show for the first season. The guests will be Nazir Abdullah Kabir, Joel Stevenett, Don Lombardi, Paul Bostaph, Jim Riley, and Matt Alpern. These are the 6 last artists of the first season in the World Edition. And the 16th, I have a special guest because we have a French show, the 16th. And at the end, we'll have a surprise. You can go check it out online. It's Thomas Pridgeon. So I invite you to go check it out. And yeah, if you don't understand, you can always watch the last part of the show, and you'll be more than welcome. Just a little thing in French. Je vais le dire en français. S'il y a des gens qui nous écoutent de la France, parce qu'on a un invité français, puis on a quelqu'un aussi qui est en Europe présentement, vous êtes les bienvenus. Je vous invite à aller écouter les prochains shows des World Edition. Si vous ne connaissez pas Drumfield Café, mon nom est Eric Boudreau. Sur YouTube, vous avez toutes les informations, et sur Facebook, tous les shows précédents, toutes les émissions précédentes sont tous enregistrées sur la plateforme YouTube. Donc, vous pouvez aller les réécouter. Il y a beaucoup de shows en fait en français, et il y a les World Edition. C'est la première fois qu'on a des invités qu'on va parler en français. La plupart, c'était toujours en anglais. Donc, je vous invite à découvrir les trucs. L'année prochaine, on va grandir la famille francophone, puis on va aller avoir plus de gens de la francophonie, de la France, la Belgique, tous les pays de la francophonie. On va inviter des gens pour en faire partie, pour que ça devienne plus gros. Donc, s'il vous plaît, si vous avez envie de faire ça, inscrivez-vous, page YouTube, Facebook, Instagram de Drumfield Café. C'est là que vous allez avoir toutes les informations. Et les concours, les cadeaux, les trucs comme ça, il y en a à presque à tous les semaines depuis le début, peut-être à toutes les 2 semaines en fait. Hier, il y en a eu un, c'était de gagner un fût en bois de la compagnie Luca Drum. Puis, on a fait une pige ce matin, puis on a un heureux gagnant qui va pouvoir soit garder le fût et se faire un projet personnel chez lui, ou prendre le fût et demander à Luca de le terminer. Donc, c'était un très beau cadeau. Donc, on va commencer aujourd'hui déjà avec le premier invité. Ça va aller assez vite. Beaucoup d'invités, mais c'est un essai. C'est un essai qu'on fait. So, we'll start with the first guest. Let's go with him, and let's have a good chat with him. So, the first guest started to play drum at 13 years old. Il a commencé à jouer, il avait 13 ans. He's born in Paris. Il est né à Paris. He got the influences by a drummer like Stuart Copeland, Simon Philip, Mike Portner, Neil Peart, name it. C'était ses influences. Il a joué, il played with Julien Doré, Marina Cailly, Mika, Matt Simon, Anne-Marie. He did some masterclass. Il a fait des classes de maître avec Damien Schmidt, Aaron Spear et d'autres batteurs. Il endosse les cymbales TRX, ProMark, Evans, Hearbay et les Simpad, désolé. On va l'accueillir tout de suite. Nico Defer, comment ça va?
Eric. Yes.
Comment vas-tu?
Ça va et toi?
Ça va très bien. Merci d'avoir accepté l'invitation. C'est super gentil.
Merci à toi. Franchement, je suis content. C'est un honneur en plus, World Edition et tout.
Ouais, c'est cool.
Je suis honoré. Donc,
Ben oui, c'est le fun. C'était bien de représenter quelqu'un qui parle français et qui ne venait pas du Canada ou de d'autres trucs. Je suis bien content de
ouais,
t'avoir.
ouais.
Puis on va pas jaser un peu de ton parcours, puis les gens
Ouais.
puissent te connaître un peu. En fait, tu as commencé à 13 ans, mais est-ce que tu avais joué d'un autre instrument auparavant?
Non, jamais. C'est plutôt après que je me suis mis à jouer d'autres instruments après la batterie.
OK.
Là, je suis plus sur le piano en ce moment, depuis 2-3 ans pour justement avoir, en plus du rythme, la partie un peu mélodique,
Ouais,
pour
ouais,
pouvoir
ouais.
composer surtout et comprendre la musique en général. Mais avant, non, je faisais pas d'autres instruments. Après, mon père, il faisait de la basse.
OK.
Et dans ma famille, on a toujours écouté beaucoup de musique. Du coup, c'était quand j'ai démarré la batterie, j'avais déjà un peu, on va dire, l'oreille qui était habituée, tu vois, depuis un moment. Et en plus, du coup, quand j'ai commencé la batterie, j'ai pu démarrer dès les 2 premiers mois. Je pouvais jouer avec mon père en basse batterie, reprendre des morceaux.
C'est cool, ça.
Donc, j'ai appris en fait en jouant déjà avec lui en premier. Après, avec mon frère qui s'est mis à la guitare aussi. Et puis avec d'autres gens en général, j'ai appris assez vite en jouant avec des gens en fait.
Donc,
C'est passé.
finalement, ta base, je veux dire, la base, les fondamentales de la musique ont été construites avec ta famille. Puis après ça,
Ouais.
t'es allé à l'école en musique ou tu as pris des cours
Euh,
privés? Qu'est-ce que c'est
non,
que ça, en fait?
j'ai jamais fait vraiment d'école.
OK.
Je suis pas très scolaire dans mon fonctionnement. J'aime bien en fait, c'est par les gens que je rencontre et les besoins que j'ai, tu vois, par moment dans mon parcours, dans mon évolution.
Mhm.
Euh, Quand je veux bosser quelque chose en particulier, je vais dire par exemple les rythmes africains.
Mhm.
Quand je rencontre un batteur qui est spécialiste là-dedans, bah, je vais travailler spécialement avec lui
Ah,
pendant
OK.
quelques temps, voilà, en fonction de, ou si on m'appelle pour un gig et que, je sais pas, il me manque quelques compétences, mais je sais qu'avec un peu de travail, je peux le faire.
Mhm.
Je vais aller chercher les personnes qui peuvent m'aider à apprendre directement, en fait.
Ouais,
Euh,
ouais,
donc ça, c'est un fonctionnement que j'ai toujours, en fait, encore aujourd'hui.
ouais.
Mais du coup, au début, j'ai quand même fait des cours avec un prof perso qui venait à la
OK.
maison, tu vois, pendant les 4 premières années. Et puis après, j'ai continué tout seul. J'ai gardé ces méthodes de travail et après, c'était plus aussi avec YouTube, ça m'a beaucoup aidé. Quelques DVD. Et puis après, je suis allé voir énormément de masterclass ces
Ça
dernières
aide
années.
aussi, là.
Ouais.
Tu sais, je voyais tes influences tantôt. Tu sais, j'ai vu Stuart Copeland, Simon
Ouais.
Phillips, Mike Portner, Neil Peart. C'est tous des batteurs qui ont influencé plein de monde. Puis ce qui est intéressant dans tes influences, c'est pas nécessairement des batteurs qui sont exactement pareils. Tu comprends ce que je veux dire?
Ouais.
Ils ont tous vraiment des différences assez énormes. Donc, ça t'a sûrement donné beaucoup de vocabulaire puis des outils pour travailler ton propre jeu à toi, tu sais.
Ouais, c'est ça. Bah, en fait, on retrouve un peu. En fait, dès le départ, j'aimais beaucoup. Bah, c'était plus le côté rock, le côté progressif. C'était vraiment, on va dire, mes influences de départ, tu vois,
Ouais,
avec
ouais.
bah, justement les Mike Portnoy, Stuart Copeland, tout ça. Et en plus, ils sont tous différents dans leur jeu et leur identité. Du coup, bah, j'ai un peu combiné tout ça.
OK.
Et puis après, avec le temps, ça s'est encore beaucoup plus varié, tu vois, avec
Ouais.
les styles différents que j'écoutais, en fait. Parce que, au début, c'était vraiment spécialisé rock, metal, on va dire, tout le côté progressif.
Ouais.
Euh, et après, je me suis ouvert à plein d'autres styles, tu vois, la pop, le
L'afro.
hip-hop, l'afro, tout ça, j'adore. Et puis voilà, après, c'est un mélange d'un peu tout ça qu'on retrouve. Mais voilà, mes influences de départ, tu les as citées. C'est vraiment Neil Peart qui m'a donné envie de faire de la batterie, tu vois.
OK. C'est
Euh,
intéressant. C'est
Bah
très
ouais,
c'est cool. Moi, je l'ai rencontré, il est venu voir, je l'ai rencontré 2 fois. Il est venu voir un de mes spectacles à Los Angeles il y a longtemps.
oh là là.
Puis j'ai même joué sur une de ses batteries. Je l'avais compté à quelqu'un dernièrement. Je savais même pas que c'était sa batterie. Tu sais, je suis arrivé parce que pas la batterie de tournée, là, c'est une batterie de
Ah
répétition,
ouais,
mais c'est
d'accord.
chez CDW, en fait. Puis j'arrive là-bas, puis je m'installe, ils me disent, prends la batterie qui t'intéresse. Puis je prends une batterie dans un coin perdu, dans le noir, puis je l'amène dans le studio. Puis c'est John Good qui arrive avec Efren Toro, en fait. Les deux, ils se présentent, puis ben, moi, je
Ouais,
connaissais John, mais je connaissais pas Efren Toro personnellement, qui est très sympathique. Puis il me dit, hey, c'est la batterie de Neil Peart que tu as pris. C'est super. Je dis, ben là, je sais pas si c'est super ou je veux pas faire de quoi que. Non, 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 c'est correct. C'est la batterie qu'on lui a construite quand il vient pratiquer. Puis c'est pas une batterie énorme. Au contraire, je m'attendais qu'il y ait une batterie de ses spectacles, mais du tout.
ouais,
Je pense que c'était 10, 12, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 23 par 18 ou
ouais,
16. 2, 3 snares. That's it. Mais tu sais, je veux dire, c'était juste comique. Puis quand il est venu voir mon spectacle il y a longtemps, il est super simple, il est très gentil, c'est une super de bonne personne.
Ah, bah.
Il aimait pas, ben là, c'était une bonne personne. C'est pas une personne qui aimait se faire prendre en photo avec lui. Il fallait pas
C'est
qu'il soit
clair.
fanatique. Mais on a parlé de moto, de voiture,
Ah ouais, bah ça vaut bien plus qu'une photo, ça. Ça vaut bien plus qu'une
Exact,
photo.
exact.
Mais
Et oui,
ça
c'est
me
cool.
fait,
Vas-y, excuse-moi.
ouais, non, mais ça me fait penser parce que les gens ils savent pas comment on s'est rencontrés, mais en fait on s'est rencontrés directement dans les locaux de DW et Drum Channel
Ouais,
à Los Angeles.
c'est vrai.
Et c'est vrai que là-bas, en parlant de Neil Peart, enfin, il est partout en poster, partout. C'est vraiment la référence, quoi. Et moi, quand j'y étais, en plus, je sais qu'ils ont enregistré dans les derniers albums, ils ont enregistré Rush, ils ont enregistré là-bas.
Mhm.
Et du coup, pour moi, c'était encore un peu comme un rêve de gosse, tu vois, de me retrouver là et de me dire, voilà, j'écoutais ça il y a 10 ans et quand je démarrais la batterie, je rêvais, tu vois, de faire des voyages comme ça, d'aller un peu, on va dire, aux sources, tu vois, de tout ce qui m'a fait aimer la musique et la batterie.
Ah, ouais,
Et voilà, en fait, juste pour l'histoire, on s'est rencontrés là-bas et tout.
c'est vrai.
Et,
Je m'en souvenais pas, en fait, mais c'est vrai.
ouais, ça
Ça
fait
fait
peut-être
longtemps.
3 ans, je sais plus.
Ouais, peut-être un peu, ouais, peut-être comme quelque chose comme ça, 3 ans. Bon, mais anyway, mais c'est super. Puis maintenant, ça, c'est tes influences de quand tu étais plus jeune. C'est quoi, quelles seraient tes, peut-être, trois, quatre influences d'aujourd'hui que, pas nécessairement copier-coller de qu'est-ce qu'ils font, mais quelque chose qui t'inspire,
Ouais.
que tu aimes voir de eux, puis que tu ajoutes un peu à ton jeu, à toi, tu sais.
Là, on va dire les 3-4 dernières années, c'est vraiment toute l'influence gospel.
Ouais,
Clairement, j'ai découvert ça avec Aaron Spears, justement.
ouais, tout à fait.
Donc après, on peut citer tous les Tony Royster, Eric Moore, etc. Toutes les références du gospel. Je pense que c'est vraiment eux qui m'ont le plus influencé ces dernières années parce que j'avais jamais vu, enfin, venant du rock, j'avais jamais vu des batteurs qui jouaient aussi vite, qui étaient aussi impressionnants et tu sais, qui se décalent dans le temps aussi.
Ouais,
Parce que le rock, on est vachement sur les temps. Eux, ils démarrent, ils sont sur des doubles, ils démarrent, ils finissent, ils sont pas, tu vois, pile sur les mesures. C'est vraiment quelque chose
c'est
tu vois,
vrai.
que ça m'a fasciné directement. Et du coup, je me suis intéressé à ça comme la plupart des batteurs, ils ont forcément regardé ces batteurs-là, je pense. Et du coup, ouais, j'ai regardé par rapport à ça. Et puis évidemment, je suis allé voir en concert. J'ai eu l'occasion justement de jouer, comme tu disais, avec Aaron, tout ça.
C'est super.
Ouais, pour moi, c'était incroyable parce qu'en fait, je l'avais découvert, je crois, à peu près 2 ans avant sur YouTube. Et tu vois, j'étais à l'université, je regardais ses vidéos dans l'amphithéâtre, tu vois, j'étais là, je me disais, purée, ce gars, c'est une légende, quoi. Et du coup, c'était marrant parce que 2 ans après, on jouait à côté de la fac ensemble. Et, euh, et du coup, pour moi, c'est quand même des grands moments, en fait, parce
Ah
que
oui,
je repense tu vois, au-delà du fait qu'il soit connu, tout ça, je repense plus au moment d'avant où je rêvais un peu de faire ça ou même pas, tu vois, j'y pensais même pas à se faire ce genre de choses. Mais tu vois, après, c'est les voyages, les rencontres que j'ai fait.
ben oui.
Je l'avais rencontré à Paris d'abord, mais après à Los Angeles, on s'était revus, tout ça.
OK.
Et
Au NAM, je suppose.
ouais, c'était aussi tu sais, il y avait le drum off,
Ouais, le
les
drama.
soirées, on va dire un peu
Je suis
musique
allé.
qu'il y avait à Los Angeles, à Hollywood, tout ça.
Ouais, je suis
Et
allé.
du coup, voilà, en fait, je pense que c'est avec la démarche que j'ai eue de faire les voyages, d'aller plus loin que juste la France, tu vois, ou l'Europe, et de me dire, je veux aller rencontrer, voir comment ça se passe auprès, on va dire, des meilleurs ou des plus grosses influences.
Tout à fait. Mais en fait, tu viens de dire un point. En fait, toi, tu es français. Là, tu t'as joué beaucoup en France. Quels sont les autres? Est-ce que tu as joué quelques fois à l'extérieur de la France? Je parle pas des pays les plus proches. Est-ce que tu joué en Asie ou des trucs
Pas
comme ça?
encore. Non,
Encore?
Asie, pas
Ouais.
encore. Non, vraiment, pour l'instant, c'est vraiment concentré sur l'Europe,
Ouais.
tout ce que j'ai pu faire. Mais évidemment, pour moi, on va dire, c'est un départ.
Tout à fait.
Voilà, forcément, on commence par là d'où on vient. Mais évidemment, je vise bien plus loin que, 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 que simplement ici, même si c'est super. Donc forcément, ça commence par les voyages. J'explore un peu, je vais voir des événements, je vais rencontrer des gens, et puis après, voilà, ça évolue avec le temps. J'ai de plus en plus de dates à l'étranger.
Ouais.
Et ça me fait plaisir, tu vois.
Oui, c'est certain. J'ai vu que quand je lisais ta bio, tu as quand même joué avec tu sais, comme avec Mika, c'est quand même pas rien, là.
Mm.
Puis plein d'artistes. Là, on est dans une situation un peu particulière, mais est-ce que tu aurais eu beaucoup de tournées ou de spectacles présentement ou les tournées?
Ouais, bah,
Ouais.
là, cette année, c'était rempli. Franchement, c'était rempli jusqu'à quasiment la fin de l'année.
Wow.
Faut savoir, bah, le confinement, en fait, quand il est arrivé avec le virus, j'étais en pleine tournée depuis tout début janvier, donc j'étais à 2 mois et demi de tournée. Là, c'était pas avec Mika. Mika, c'était la période de l'été dernier, plus autour de l'été dernier, tu vois.
OK.
Et en fait, j'ai joué avec lui jusqu'à septembre. Et après, à partir de septembre, à partir d'octobre directement, en fait, j'ai un ami qui m'a mis en lien avec une chanteuse qui s'appelle Caroline Rose,
OK.
avec qui je joue en ce moment depuis le mois d'octobre. Et en fait, elle, c'est encore différent. Moi, en fait, j'aime bien tous les projets qui me font progresser, découvrir de nouvelles choses. J'aime pas faire plusieurs fois. Enfin, si, j'aime bien, mais c'est pas aussi intéressant que faire des nouveaux projets tout le temps. Et elle a vraiment un concept qui mélange, on va dire, la pop et le métal, tu vois,
Ah ouais, OK.
musiques plus extrêmes. Du coup, bah, moi, c'est ça. Je retrouvais mes influences de départ plus mes influences récentes. Et je me suis dit, ça peut m'intéresser. J'ai fait l'audition, j'ai été pris. Et en fait, tout de suite, la semaine suivante, on a enchaîné assez vite les premières dates. Elle avait un gros festival qui s'appelle les Transmusicales, qui était juste après au mois de décembre, donc qui a été filmé, tout ça. Ça a été un bon baptême du feu, tu vois. Et, euh, et en fait, quand j'étais pris, je savais qu'il y avait déjà 2, 3 projets avec elle qui étaient déjà planifiés. Et on commençait, du coup, début janvier, on avait déjà 3 mois de tournée. Et
Ah
en fait,
ouais, hein.
c'était encore un truc nouveau, c'est-à-dire qu'on mélangeait le groupe. On est en duo en plus, donc c'est vraiment quelque chose d'assez original. On est que tous les deux.
OK.
Euh, et, euh, et en fait, on joue on a accompagné une pièce de théâtre, tu vois, des comédiens.
Ouais.
En fait, le show mélange du coup on va dire c'est un show, quoi. C'est une pièce de théâtre, mais en plus, il y a des moments où on joue pendant que les comédiens jouent, et des fois c'est entre, et on joue les morceaux du groupe. Donc c'est toujours, en plus, il y a ce décalage de jouer, on va dire, de la musique des fois un peu extrême dans un cadre de théâtre, tu vois, ce qui est pas forcément commun, parce que tu as des personnes plus vraiment jeunes, d'autres plus âgées, tout ça.
Oh, ouais.
Et ça leur fait découvrir, et moi j'adore parce que bah pareil, ça m'amène en fait tout le temps sur des choses nouvelles, tu vois. Du
Ben,
coup, j'étais pas que dans un environnement concert, mais là, c'était plus aussi
c'est
théâtre.
ça.
Et
T'es sorti de ton truc de confiance. T'es dans une zone de
voilà,
confiance. T'es moins
voilà,
dans
c'est
ta
ça,
zone à toi,
c'est
là.
ça. Et puis, même au-delà de la batterie, dans le show, je dois gérer toute la partie caméra
Ah
vidéo.
ouais, OK.
Donc, quand je suis pas à la batterie, je suis à la caméra. Et des fois, je suis aussi avec les comédiens
OK.
en plus. Donc, j'ai un peu, c'est comme si j'avais 3 boulots en un, tu vois.
Tu fais
Et
partie du
voilà,
casting.
voilà, puis je m'ennuie pas, et puis j'apprends en fait en même temps. Je me dis,
OK.
bah super, je l'ai jamais fait, mais je suis partant, et j'ai hâte de le faire. Et puis voilà, 2 jours de répète, et puis on a fait 2 mois et demi de tournée.
C'est
Et
quand
voilà, on
même
s'est fait
beaucoup.
stopper en pleine tournée. Il nous restait 3 semaines. Et puis là, après, bah, le mois d'avril, je devais partir justement aux États-Unis. Et après, mois de mai, je reprenais une autre tournée. Pareil avec elle encore, mais encore avec d'autres projets, tu vois.
OK.
Parce que elle aussi, en fait, elle a un profil tellement original que bah, elle est appelée pour plein de choses différentes. On a joué dans un film aussi qui sortira au cinéma, par exemple.
Ouais, OK.
Donc, tu vois, en pleine tournée, pendant les jours off, bah, il fallait faire les allers-retours. Elle en a fait beaucoup. Euh, Moi, moins, mais j'ai dû la rejoindre aussi sur le plateau. Et c'est là que je me dis, c'est bien de toujours rebondir sur des projets comme ça qui te motivent et tu sais, qui te font progresser.
Ouais, ça te tient allumé, puis c'est motivant. C'est pas juste faire
C'est ça.
parce qu'il y a des contrats de pige très, très, très agréables. Il y a des contrats
Ouais,
de pige, des fois un peu plus difficiles. Donc, c'est le fun quand tu as un projet qui t'allume, tu sais,
bah, c'est ça.
pour le faire. Tu dis ça tantôt, tu parlais d'un truc un peu sortir de la zone de confiance. Je fais juste un aparté.
Mm.
J'ai fait des tournées il y a longtemps avec un autre spectacle de cirque. On
Ouais.
était au Mexique, puis on avait rencontré des gens qui étaient là-bas. Ils faisaient un groupe qui était là-bas, puis c'était un groupe de métal. Mais eux, pour faire de l'argent, ils avaient décidé de faire un groupe de métal pour les enfants. Donc,
Ah ouais,
c'est
j'ai
adapté
déjà entendu des
aux
projets
enfants.
comme ça, c'est vrai, c'est
C'était
marrant.
excellent, c'était très bon. C'était très cliché, là. Tu sais, imagine Motorhead, puis, tu sais, c'était très, très cliché, mais c'était excellent. Puis les enfants, ils fonctionnaient, ils adoraient ça. Puis c'était pas vulgaire, tout était
Ouais,
bien contrôlé. Mais qu'est-ce qu'il m'avait dit? Je lui ai dit, pourquoi vous faites ça? Il dit, ben, sais, faire du métal, tu vas faire peut-être 50 shows, 40 shows dans ton année, tu vas faire, tu sais, 25 €, là. Tu sais, j'exagère, mais tu sais, c'est difficile. Il dit, là, on fait une tournée. Il dit, ça va durer 3 mois. Puis il dit, on fait tous à peu près 300 € par spectacle.
Ouais.
On fait 5 shows par semaine. Donc, c'était super lucratif. Puis c'est de rentrer dans ce milieu-là, mais c'est super pas zone de confort. Tu sais, au début, tu es un peu malaisé.
Ouais, je vois.
Bon, mais vraiment, c'était excellent. T'es très bon musicien aussi, là.
Ouais.
Mais en parlant de ça, toi, là, on parle de trucs à faire, mais vu que tu n'as pas pu faire de tournée, tu enseignes de chez toi, si j'ai bien compris présentement, c'est ça? Tu fais de l'enseignement en ligne, right?
Là, je suis chez moi, comme la plupart des gens. Voilà, donc les tournées sont reportées souvent à l'année prochaine. Bon, j'ai des choses en fin d'année, mais voilà, c'est encore dans quelques mois. Et puis, le temps que ça redémarre. Et puis là, du coup, je suis chez moi et je passe, en fait, comme tout le monde, je m'adapte.
Ouais.
Je pense que cette période, elle était faite pour faire toutes les choses qu'on a mis de côté depuis longtemps. En fait, on se dit, j'ai pas le temps. Et pareil, t'enchaînes les dates, t'enchaînes les tournées, les voyages,
Ouais.
tu fais tout ce qui est prioritaire. Mais des fois, tu as plein d'idées de projets, de trucs que tu mets de côté. Tu te dis, bon, bah, je verrai ça plus tard. Et puis là, je pense que c'est l'occasion pour tout le monde de se poser,
Tellement.
voilà, de se dire, bah, là, j'ai le temps de le faire. Donc là, tous les trucs qui traînaient depuis un moment, je les ai faits. Et puis surtout, je me suis concentré sur vraiment l'écriture, la composition,
OK.
la production, et j'essaye de développer tous mes skills là-dedans. Justement, je regarde énormément de vidéos, de masterclass. Je m'entraîne, et puis je bosse avec mon petit frère aussi,
Ah, c'est bien.
et avec des potes qui viennent faire des sessions, tout ça. On travaille aussi à distance. Et du coup, bah voilà, je me dis là, c'est un truc que j'avais en tête depuis un moment de prendre le temps de composer mes propres sons, que ce soit pour moi, pour des potes ou pour des artistes aussi chanteurs, tu vois.
Ouais.
Donc, là, on a aménagé le studio, tu vois, on a mis en sens, mais on se met bien, comme on dit. Et du coup, bah, là, l'environnement, il commence à être
Il est bien.
sympa. Ouais, là, je suis à l'aise ici et je sais que, en fait, je sais pas à l'avenir combien de temps j'aurai dans ces conditions. Donc là, je fais le maximum.
Fais tout.
Ouais, là, je fais le maximum. Je bosse de nuit. C'est super. Il y
C'est
a pas
drôle
de
que,
limite.
c'est drôle que tu dis ça parce que j'ai des amis qui ont fait un peu la même chose que toi, mais tout est éclectique. Tu sais, ils disaient des trucs que j'ai pas eu le temps de faire. Donc, peinturer ma salle de bain, mais pratiquer des paradiddles. Tu sais. Ouais,
Ouais.
tu sais, ou
Ah ouais,
tu sais, faire un ménage de mes vieux Modern Drummers. Puis, tu sais,
ouais.
après ça, je sais pas, tu sais, jeter les Reader Digest aux poubelles. Tu sais, c'était juste tout est, tu sais, des trucs qu'on fait jamais. Tu sais, le ménage
Bah
de
ouais.
garde-robe avec notre première batterie qu'on s'en sert pour mettre du linge sale, tu sais. Fait qu'à un moment donné, c'est drôle, tout le monde a le projet. Ben, tu vois, si le COVID n'avait pas eu lieu, peut-être que la plateforme Drumfield Café aurait eu lieu, mais peut-être pas présentement. Peut-être juste dans 6
Ouais.
mois ou dans 1 an.
Ah
Ça
bah
fait
ça
du temps.
change tout. Ça
Ben oui,
change tout, là, clairement. C'était pas prévu. Enfin, c'était prévu pour personne. Et là, on a tous un peu changé nos plans. Mais
ben oui.
après voilà, c'est comme dans tout. C'est quand tu arrives à rebondir dans les moments comme ça que voilà, tu progresses et que tu tiens le coup et que tu fais
Avant,
ta carrière et ta vie. Donc voilà, une fois que tu as encaissé le coup, après tu t'occupes, tu vas pas rester à rien faire. Donc forcément, tu reprends ta liste de choses à faire et tu t'y mets, quoi. Donc
En France, vous êtes vraiment bien pour ça, avec l'intermittence, puis avec le
hmm,
support du gouvernement. Au Canada, on
ouais,
n'a pas ça. On a du chômage, mais qui est différemment travaillé. C'est pas comme vous. Puis là,
ouais,
présentement, dans la COVID, on a un support. Il y a plein de pays qui n'ont pas ça, tu sais. Faut en être conscient. C'est sûr que bonjour les taxes l'année prochaine, mais je veux dire, c'est un
ouais.
exemple de quand même que pour le moment, tu peux quand même garder un certain mode de vie, tu sais, que certains pays peuvent pas avoir, tu sais, ce qui est très.
Ouais, bah c'est une sécurité qu'on a, c'est vrai. Bah c'est un statut qui est pas mal critiqué aussi, mais c'est vrai que quand t'es musicien intermittent, il y a quand même un minimum. Je veux dire, même si tu joues pas pendant 2 mois, par exemple, t'as pas de tournée, bah t'as quand même un salaire qui rentre parce que t'as cotisé l'année d'avant. Donc là, bah pareil, en fait, même si on est en confinement, enfin maintenant on l'est plus, mais là on va pas avoir de date la semaine prochaine, tu vois.
C'est ça.
Finalement, ça nous aide beaucoup. Moi, j'ai
Ouais.
eu la chance d'avoir bouclé en plus mon année, genre vraiment en février juste avant. Et puis, en plus, mes dates annulées ont compté, donc, enfin, elles ont été payées, déclarées. Donc, j'ai vraiment, même l'année qui vient, même si je jouais pas, quasiment, j'ai toutes mes dates. Donc, en fait,
Ouais, ouais, ouais.
En fait, justement, c'est aussi quelque chose que je visais il y a par exemple 1 an ou 2 où je me disais j'aimerais bien être tellement large au niveau des dates que j'ai le temps de composer et de rester chez moi. Et en fait, au lieu de courir après des dates, de faire juste celles qui m'intéressent, qui me plaisent le plus. Et à côté, je compose, je bosse d'autres choses et je m'améliore sur d'autres points parce que la batterie, j'adore, mais c'est vrai qu'il y a plein d'autres choses qui sont intéressantes dans la musique, quoi.
Mais tu sais quoi? Quand je pourrais dire ça, le moment idéal parfait, ça arrive pas. Je veux dire, quand la plupart des gros contrats que j'ai eu dans ma vie, c'est pas tu as 7 mois pour te préparer, tu peux louer ton appartement. Non, c'est 2 semaines. Prépare ta valise, prête tes trucs, tu es prêt à partir. C'est souvent comme ça. J'ai eu des contrats, j'ai fait des casinos aux États-Unis souvent, puis on me disait, OK, tu as 100 chansons à apprendre en 3 jours, puis on part.
Ouais, voilà, c'est plus souvent ça, clairement.
Toujours comme ça, tu sais. Mais c'est bien, puis tu sais, des fois, dans les meilleures conditions, tu dis, quand je vais avoir mon gros spectacle en théâtre, là les matinées, je vais composer. Ça n'arrive pas, ça. Ça va être Netflix le matin.
Voilà.
C'est une réalité que c'est dur de se motiver, tu sais. Mais quand on peut le faire, puis on peut bien le faire, c'est super. Hey, il reste comme quelques minutes. Je voudrais juste que tu puisses dire aux gens où ils peuvent te rejoindre s'ils veulent avoir des cours avec toi. C'est quoi quelles sont tes plateformes qu'on peut aller voir tes nouveautés, tes vidéos et tout. Ça serait vraiment intéressant que les gens puissent le voir. C'est pour ceux qui ne te connaissent pas, parce qu'il y a des Canadiens qui ne te connaissent pas. En France, tu es connu, mais au Canada, tu n'es pas connu. Donc, ça serait bien que tu vendes un peu ta salade pour ça. Tu sais.
On peut me retrouver sur les réseaux classiques, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, tout ça, avec mon nom, Nico Defer, tout simplement. J'ai mon site nicolasdefer.com où il y a aussi toutes mes infos. On peut me contacter aussi facilement. Et puis, voilà, je fais aussi ça, j'en ai pas parlé, je fais aussi des cours par Skype pour ceux qui veulent. Et puis voilà, pour n'importe quelle demande, s'il y a des gens qui veulent m'écrire, qui ont des questions, qui veulent des conseils, n'importe quoi, ils peuvent m'écrire facilement sur les réseaux. Voilà, et puis ouais, les cours, c'est pareil. En fait, j'en ai fait beaucoup pendant le confinement et c'est quelque chose que j'avais pas fait depuis peut-être 6 mois parce que j'étais jamais chez moi en fait. Mais j'aime bien aussi en faire et du coup, je me suis dit bon, voilà, pareil, je vais en faire plus maintenant et puis après, voilà. Hein.
Moi, j'adore la France. En fait, c'est un des pays que je suis allé souvent en France, mais j'ai jamais été capable de faire des voyages en France. J'ai toujours été pour le travail. C'est toujours été des spectacles.
Ouais.
Aller-retour. Les gens ont dit, est-ce que tu es allé à Lyon? Oui, je suis allé. J'ai vu le théâtre, là. Puis
mais quand t'es en tournée, tu voyages. Enfin, si tu voyages, mais tu visites pas vraiment. Des fois, on a des jours off. Tu as la chance, dans certaines villes, tu as le temps de faire une journée ou deux, c'est super. Mais la plupart du temps, comme tu dis, tu vois l'hôtel, la scène, et puis tu t'enchaînes, en fait. Et le reste du temps, comme tu dis, des fois, tu as envie de te poser, regarder Netflix, ou tu sors l'ordinateur, tu composes. Moi, j'ai fait ça aussi beaucoup. Voilà. Et puis, il faut se maintenir, faire du sport, faut dormir.
Bien manger.
Bien manger, ça c'est important.
Ouais, bien manger, boire de l'eau. Écoute, je dois te laisser, ça va aller vite aujourd'hui. Je l'avais dit, c'est près une vingtaine de minutes, j'ai beaucoup de temps à passer.
Super.
Mais c'était un plaisir de t'avoir. Puis,
merci à toi.
Il y a un chat, il y a à peu près comme 10 personnes qui t'ont dit bonjour. Prends le temps d'aller leur dire un petit
oui.
allô.
Je vois ça.
Puis, si
tous les copains.
Je pense que c'est tous tes amis. Puis, si tu pourrais ajouter le lien de ton site web puis des trucs comme ça. Souvent, les gens qui revisionnent sur YouTube ou Facebook Live, ils peuvent tout le temps avoir le chat. Donc, ils peuvent toujours avoir accès à l'information. Donc, à la fin, ça serait bien que tu puisses rajouter tes trucs. Tu sais.
Tu veux que je mette ça dans la discussion?
Oui, dans la discussion, les liens, les gens vont cliquer, vont pouvoir aller te découvrir pour qu'est-ce qu'ils ne connaissent pas, quel genre de drum tu joues et tout. Là, ça peut être intéressant. Je te remercie beaucoup.
Super. Merci à toi, Eric.
Merci pour de te reposer. Il est tard pour toi. Là. Fait que,
c'est le début de la journée. Là. C'est le début de la journée, c'est nickel.
Salut, François, toi, on se reparle. Bye-bye. Le temps passe vite. So, I will do French-English. So, I don't know if there's a few people, like English speaker in the room, because I was doing a French at first. And we're going to do an hybrid version with my next guest. But if you are new to that channel, Drumfield Cafe, it's a platform mostly for promote all the drummer, the percussion player, and everybody connected to the world of the percussion and drumming. So basically, you can be like a kinesiotherapist, physiotherapist, whatever. We already did that in the French version. We are inviting a lot of people from different world. connected, like I said. So it's very interesting because most of the time people like just expect like a drummer talking about drums, but I want people like they can meet like a rep working for a company, somebody like supporting on tour in the prod for a big show. So if you want, like, stay tuned. The next season will be very diverse with all those topics. So I really suggest to stay tuned. And yeah, it's going to be cool. Like September 15, we're going to have a retune of the channel. So if you never have seen no one show before today, there's around 17 shows on YouTube of around 90 minutes to 2 hours. So I suggest you to go check it out. 2 weeks ago was Daru Jones. I had Todd Zuckerman, Rick Latham, and name it, like a lot of great drummers. So I really suggest you to go check it out. Just a reminder, the last show of the World Edition is next week. No, in 2 weeks, sorry, June 17. I'm going to have Nasir Abdul-Kabir, Joel Stevenett, Don Lombardi, Paul Bostaff, Jim Riley, and Matt Alpern. So this is a pretty cool lineup. And the 16th, there's a special guest in the French show. At the end, we're gonna have Thomas Pridgeon. So you can take a look. You're more than welcome. So let's go with the next guest now. It goes pretty fast. She studied with Paul Picard, Giovanni Hidalgo, Aruna Dembele, and many other good percussion player. She's really active in the Montreal scene, Vancouver, Berlin, different like big cities around the world. She played with Lara Fabian, Marie-Josée Laure, Trois Accords. She's doing like a masterclass, like drum clinic. She have a lot of bands, actually, very good. She endorsed Mino, Tama, and Vic Firth. So let's go see her right now. My friend Joannie Labelle. Comment ça va?
Salut, ça va bien.
Ça va bien, merci d'avoir accepté l'invitation.
Grand plaisir.
C'est vraiment cool de t'avoir. Parce qu'en fait, ce qui est encore plus cool, je repensais à ça, il y a longtemps, en 2014, j'avais été le spokesperson, puis j'avais proposé ton nom pour faire partie du Capital Drumfest à Québec.
Oui, c'est vrai. Oui. Ben oui,
ouais.
Merci pour ça. Ça avait été super trippant. Quel beau festival aussi, ouais.
Puis ça a été le fun. Il y avait eu pas mal de monde. Là. Fait que ça fait longtemps qu'on se connaît, nous autres. Là. Je ne sais pas combien d'années, là, mais ça fait longtemps.
Je sais pas. Quand on a commencé Cavalia, je pense que c'est dans les années.
2, 1, 3.
Ouais, quelque chose comme ça. Ouais, on est dû pour se voir en vrai, puis échanger un vrai café.
Et là, tu es à Berlin, moi, je suis à Mexico City. C'est un peu plus complexe.
Ouais, je suis à Hambourg en ce moment, puis c'est ça, comme je te disais, j'ai 2 maisons, vraiment Montréal-Hambourg, mais là, avec le confinement, là, je suis ici depuis la fin février déjà, fait que là, je commence à être une vraie Allemande, là. Il me manque un petit peu de langage, mais...
ouais, OK.
Ouais, c'est ça, avec les bretzels le matin. Puis on n'a pas encore la bière le matin, ce qui est un peu typique ici, mais le bretzel, je l'ai adopté, ouais.
C'est drôle parce que si c'était cancellé, mais on aurait pu se voir parce que je m'en allais 1 mois en tournée en Allemagne cet été.
Ah ouais, pour vrai?
Tout le mois de juillet, en fait, au complet, dans un gros festival dans le nord de l'Allemagne. Je ne me souviens plus de la ville. C'était un festival de cirque et d'animation pour les enfants. Okay. Je m'en allais jouer de la batterie pour un groupe. C'est juste drôle, on aurait pu se voir là. Mais anyway, mais gars, comment vas-tu? Toi, tu me disais que tu avais un projet, que tu étais supposé jouer dans un théâtre. C'était quoi le projet?
Ben, c'est ça, ici, il y a vraiment une grosse culture des théâtres. Tu sais, à Montréal, il y a eu les comédies musicales qui se sont beaucoup développées.
Les cabarets.
Cabaret. Ben, ici, à Hambourg, puis dans l'Allemagne, même au complet, il y a tellement de salles de spectacle qui tiennent des shows de différentes grandeurs, différentes, avec vraiment du public, tu peux avoir de 50 à 500 personnes, name it. Puis c'est ça, un format un peu cabaret-théâtre. Puis moi, j'avais été bookée à l'automne pour un show qui aurait été maintenant, fait que de la mi-avril jusqu'à juillet. C'était un show genre cabaret, mais moderne. Fait que moi, j'avais le rôle de percussionniste, DJ, chanteuse. Puis c'était 3 mois de show dans un super beau théâtre ici, le Hansa Theater. Puis là, c'est ça, au début de la crise, j'étais un peu restée ici, j'ai mon copain ici, mais j'étais un peu restée ici aussi parce qu'à l'agenda, j'avais ce show-là. C'était pas encore annulé. Mais là, bien sûr, c'est ça. Là, c'est remis l'année prochaine à suivre, mais ouais.
Je te souhaite que ça soit remis parce que c'est vrai qu'en Allemagne, ils ont des très beaux théâtres. Puis,
ouais, mais ça.
C'est fou. J'ai vu des gros spectacles qui ont créé des théâtres dernièrement, puis c'est des œuvres d'art. C'est impressionnant. Puis les cabarets, moi, j'ai beaucoup d'amis, mais c'est pas des musiciens, c'est tous des artistes acrobates. Alors, pour la plupart, ils sont dans des cabarets en Allemagne.
Ouais. Oui, ici, il y a l'art du cirque qui est aussi super vivant. Comme à Berlin, tu as les trucs vraiment, je pense, les plus flyés que tu peux voir dans le monde, peut-être à côté de l'Asie. Mais des cabarets, c'est ça, qui mélangent tous les arts du cirque, puis tu as beaucoup de nudité aussi là-dedans.
Ouais, ça se peut
Fait que c'est ça, l'Europe est très ouverte là, au niveau artistique. Ouais.
Ouais, c'est public averti pour quelqu'un qui arrive de l'Amérique, là, qui va arriver là-bas. Les autres, ça va être peut-être plus normal, mais d'autres, OK, qu'est-ce que c'est ça? Mais mais c'est cool, par exemple. C'est vrai que l'Europe, pour ça, sont très ouverts, puis c'est génial. Mais quand tu fais, là tu avais plein de projets, comment tu fais la gestion de tous tes projets? Parce que je sais que tu avais un projet à Québec, disons, l'année avec Christian Morissette, tu en avais avec ton groupe de filles. Tu sais, tu as comme plein d'affaires. Je checkais ton site web, qui est très beau en passant. Là. Moi, je suis en train de refaire le mien. C'est simple, tu comprends tout. Mais tu fais comment la gestion, tout ça, avec les 2 pays, puis tout?
Ben là, pour ce qui est des projets, je suis devenue vraiment une fille de liste. Fait que je vais vraiment... j'ai les différents projets, puis je travaille avec une liste de priorités. Puis après ça, tout est dans le calendrier. Je suis devenue une espèce de musicienne secrétariat moderne, là. un peu malgré moi, mais c'est ça. Fait que je prends les différents projets, faire une liste de priorités, mettre ça à l'agenda. Puis après ça, quand les trucs évoluent, restructurer. J'ai développé aussi... j'ai été super chanceuse dans le milieu à Montréal parce que j'ai des super amis qui sont des bons percussionnistes aussi. Fait que on s'entraide beaucoup à Montréal, la scène de percussionnistes. Fait que souvent, j'ai mis... Comment, excuse-moi?
C'est un vraiment bon point que tu viens de dire là. On va en parler après, mais continue, ouais.
Ouais, on est un petit milieu serré qui s'entraide. Fait que mettre des subs ici et là quand je suis pas sûre de pouvoir être là ou pas sûre de pouvoir faire une tournée au complet. Fait que c'est pas mal comme ça que je suis arrivée à garder plein de projets puis que ça fonctionne. Puis bon, quand j'ai commencé à venir ici à Hambourg de plus en plus, ben en fait, je volais quasiment aux 2 mois à Montréal, pour Montréal. Fait que j'ai gardé des tournées à Montréal. Puis là, j'ai arrangé mes calendriers que quand il y a le plus de shows à Montréal, c'est là que je vais à Montréal. Puis là, quand je suis en Allemagne, ben là, j'essaie de développer. Puis en tout cas, ça marchait super bien jusqu'à mars dernier. Mais c'était aussi... c'était un peu frénétique, fait que j'ai pas eu ça quand ça ralentit. Puis aussi, je suis consciente que c'est une vie de luxe, puis que là, j'ai pu me le permettre, mais je sais pas, c'est ça. Je sais pas si j'aurais pu continuer ça pendant 3 ans, le voler à tous les 2 mois.
C'est quelque chose, là. C'est dur. Ouais. Mais quand même, moi, je trouve que ce qui est le fun, c'est que c'est quand même un bon exemple, en fait, parce qu'il y a beaucoup de monde qui écoute. Il y a des jeunes et ça. Mais pour les gens qui voudraient être, disons, percussionnistes ou batteurs, musiciens, peu importe, t'es un bon exemple de personnes qui s'adaptent parce qu'il y a beaucoup de personnes qui vont être monolignes. Ils vont dire, moi, j'ai mon groupe, j'ai mon affaire, c'est très moi, puis ils vont faire leur truc. Fait que tu es capable de gérer. Puis quand tu es musicien, tu l'as dit, tu es secrétaire, dans le sens que c'est vrai, les gens ils oublient ça.
Malheureusement, ouais.
20%, le reste, c'est de la gestion de temps, de business, de tout ce que tu veux. Puis ça, c'est pas fait pour tout le monde. Il y a des gens qui ont besoin d'avoir quelqu'un qui les aide là-dedans. Puis je trouve que c'est un bon point que tu as nommé. On en a pas assez parlé, là. Puis tu sais, tu es une percussionniste. Tu sais, faut pas se le cacher. Il y a beaucoup de monde qui va dire, de nos jours, on a un band, on a une chanteuse. Là, on va couper qui? Ça va être qui qu'on va couper? Fait que souvent, ça va être soit un percussionniste ou un drummer. Fait qu'ils vont prendre un des deux, tu sais. Mais toi, ce qui est le fun, c'est que t'es moderne, je trouve. T'es une percussionniste moderne. Fait que
merci.
C'est vrai. Mais c'est cool parce que t'es pas resté dire non, moi, je joue juste du djembé, puis c'est juste du djembé que je joue. Tu sais, tu comprends ce que je veux dire? Tu t'adaptes. Je vais prendre des bacs vocales, je vais travailler avec mon ordinateur, je vais faire. Puis ça, c'est vraiment ce qu'il faut faire de nos jours, être polyvalent, à toucher à plein de trucs. Et je trouve que c'est le cool que tu fasses ça.
Ben, t'es fin. Écoute, pour moi, c'était un peu... c'était pas mal un passage obligé parce que j'aime tout ça, tu sais. Fait que... Ouais, fait qu'il y avait déjà la voix, je chantais déjà pas mal. J'ai chanté beaucoup quand j'étais plus petite, ça, c'était toujours présent. Là, il y avait l'amour de la percussion. Là, j'avais beaucoup d'amour pour l'électro aussi qui est né. Là, je voulais toucher à ça. Fait que pour moi, c'était un peu, c'est ça, passage obligé. Reste que c'est ça, pour travailler dans notre milieu, ben, le plus t'es capable d'atteindre un bon niveau sur plusieurs instruments, avec plusieurs médiums, évidemment, ça aide énormément. Tu sais, c'est drôle parce que j'ai commencé mon projet de composition pas mal électro. Là c'est un peu plus hybride, électro-organique. J'ai commencé ça il y a quelques années, BA-Box, puis tu sais, j'ai commencé ça par l'amour de le faire, mais après, tu vois, il y a des gens... Patrick Dugas, que tu as eu à l'émission, il travaillait avec des danseurs, puis là, il y avait besoin d'une compositeur qui touchait à la percussion. J'ai été référée là-dessus. Je commençais à composer pour d'autres gens, pour des danseurs. Puis là, ça a fleuri aussi beaucoup. Mais c'est ça, je pense que c'est un chemin très atypique que j'ai. Mais reste que, ouais, si on met de l'effort dans des choses qu'on aime, diversifier, ça aide à travailler.
C'est la meilleure truc. Moi, des fois, j'avais jamais découvert ça, comme par exemple faire de la vidéo, tu sais.
Ouais.
J'ai appris à travailler avec Finale, puis avec Premiere, puis Final Cut, puis tous les programmes, tu sais, de vidéo de son et tout, tu sais. À un moment donné, je connaissais pas. Ben, je travaillais avec, mais je n'étais pas bon avec Ableton Live. En 2009, je connaissais, mais donc je me suis payé une formation d'aller voir un des formateurs à Los Angeles d'Ableton Live. Je ne suis pas le meilleur du tout, là, mais je veux dire, je comprends la plateforme. Puis je pense que de nos jours, c'est vraiment un atout de connaître ça. Tu n'es pas juste un programmateur, mais juste comprendre d'avoir des tracks. Puis souvent, les gens me demandent par où je commence. GarageBand, commence avec ce que tu as dans ton ordi. Développe, puis tu vas. Puis des fois, ils disent, ouais, mais moi, je suis juste guitariste. Puis non, tu vas voir, enregistre-toi juste des petits tracks, fais un overdub avec ta voix, travaille. Ouais, mais je suis pas chanteur, c'est pas grave, fais des sons, développe tes musiques.
C'est sûr que c'est un bon atout de connaître ça, même si, tu sais, il y a toujours la possibilité de, quand tu as plus de moyens, tu peux t'engager des gens pour le faire pour toi. Oui, mais reste que, comme n'importe quoi, tu sais, de connaître le langage de l'autre, c'est tout le temps super pertinent. Fait que justement, tu travailles avec quelqu'un qui fait tes tracks, d'être capable de communiquer sur au moins un petit peu au même level, tu sais, d'être capable de parler le même langage. Fait que, ouais, c'est super, ça, prendre des formations à gauche, à droite. Moi, j'ai fait ça aussi.
Moi, j'ai vu que tu avais un listing de noms. Je ne savais pas que tu étais à la Cuba étudier. Comment ça a été? Ça devait être le fun. À la Havane.
C'était super. Ouais, ben ça, c'est grâce à, tu sais, j'ai eu plusieurs profs, là, comme tu as vu.
Ben oui, tu en as eu plein. Ils sont tous des tops, là, je veux dire. Je les connais de nom ou de voix en personne, tu sais.
Je les aime tous beaucoup. Je voudrais, aujourd'hui, j'aimerais ça saluer mon premier prof de percussion quand j'étais encore à Joliette. Moi, je viens de Saint-Paul-de-Joliette.
Ben oui.
C'était Normand Hervieux qui m'a ouvert un peu. Moi, j'étais vraiment focusée sur les congas. Puis Normand, c'est le premier qui m'a dit, puis c'est ça, j'ai quand même une tête de cochon à mes heures. Puis c'est Normand qui m'a dit, là, Joannie, juste les congas, ça ira pas très loin. Là. Il faudrait que tu touches aux baguettes, il faudrait que tu touches assis à ça.
Ouais.
Fait que là aujourd'hui, je vois l'utilité de ce conseil-là.
C'est cool.
Mais c'est ça, après Normand, j'ai étudié avec Alain Labrosse, que je salue ici, Chépito. Puis c'est Alain qui m'a dit, puis ça, c'est un des meilleurs conseils que j'ai eu dans ma vie. Alain m'a dit, écoute, tu veux jouer des percussions, là, on était dans les percussions cubaines. Il dit, ben, si tu veux être sérieuse là-dedans, être pris au sérieux, il faut que tu ailles à Cuba. Puis c'est vraiment lui qui a été mon premier levier. Il m'a tout organisé ça comme un chef. Puis, ben, Cuba, c'est sûr que la première fois que je suis allée, c'est à 19 ans, puis je parlais pas espagnol. Puis Alain m'avait bien organisé ça. Mais reste que pour une jeune femme de 19 ans, d'arriver à Cuba sans aucune conscience vraiment de ce qui est le monde latin, le monde cubain, ça a été hyper impressionnant, hyper riche aussi.
Ben oui, c'est
ça. J'ai eu en 2 semaines, mon premier voyage, c'était juste 2 semaines, j'ai eu 1 million de péripéties, puis j'ai été malade. Puis, mais c'est ça qui est fou, c'est que quand tu es là-bas, la vie personnelle est extrêmement riche, impressionnante.
C'est nourri.
Ouais, t'es nourri à tous les niveaux, puis en même temps, c'est ça, vu que j'étudiais tous les jours, t'es musicalement nourri à fond, fait que c'est vraiment... moi, je suis revenue au Québec, puis c'était une autre... ma vie, c'était autre chose. Ah ouais, ils sont bons, en plus, là-bas.
Moi, je me souviens que la première fois que j'étais à Cuba, ça fait longtemps, peut-être en 2005-2006, puis je me disais, moi, là, je la joue la clavier, puis je la joue les rythmes latins. Quand je suis arrivé là-bas, j'étais pourri. Ça marchait pas, ça pouvait pas être bon. Donc, j'ai appris, j'ai travaillé mon son, j'ai fait mes trucs. Quand je suis retourné en 2007 à peu près, là, j'avais déjà pris une autre étape. Puis, tu sais, c'est là que tu vois que c'est un langage, c'est comme tu as dit, c'est la culture, puis ils vont l'adapter à leur jeu. En fait, quand tu joues, c'est toi. Tu joues ce que tu manges comme culture, comme ta vie allait, tu sais, comme ce que tu vas donner. Tu sais. Hey, Joannie, parce que le temps avance, il y a plein de monde qui écoute en anglais aussi. Ça dérange pas qu'on parle un peu en anglais parce que j'avais des questions en anglais. So let's switch in English, guys, because I've seen a lot of people now coming in the show, and I would like they can understand a bit more. And not just about that, because it's cool we can do an hybrid version for a transition. So, you studied. Where did you study? You did UCAM or like? Where did you study?
Yes.
UCAM?
So for university, I did UCAM.
Okay.
Cégep was Marie-Victorin. So in Montreal, as I said, with Chipito. But then, yes, and then it's private classes a bit all over the world. So in Cuba, I was with different teachers. And then I went to Spain. By the way, I went to Spain with my dear friend, Melissa Labelle. So we went on a travel to study together there. And a little bit in India, I got introduced to tabla. And in the States too, that's where I met, I had the chance to meet Giovanni Hidalgo in the States. So yeah, a little bit around. So, and with Aruna Dembele last year in France, and that was super amazing. I had like private.
How was it?
Yeah, it was so good. Yeah. I mean, he's really like, he's an amazing being. So he's really kind, very generous, very patient, and at the same time, is this super strength of a man on the djembe, which is super impressive. He has arms like 5 times mine, and the beauty and the musicality when he plays is just like it's a fire of beautiful music. So I was very impressed, and of course I think to honor it, I'm still working on the stuff we studied together, and I try to improve my playing to honor the courses he gave me.
So cool. I don't know if you noticed it, their hands when they play, they're so strong. I remember like I played with a lot of African for like 4, 5, 6 years, and when they hit the djembes, they have so much power. It's crazy, crazy.
Yeah, it's really a mastery. Like they start playing. I don't want to generalize actually, but Aruna, for example, I know he plays since a very young age, and so there's also like a lot of looseness and a lot of practice, of course, and pushing the limit. So it's impressive. It's great mastery, definitely.
Wow, that's so cool. And how you take those, like, because these are like tools you put in your toolbox. So for you, what you do with those, is only for practicing, or it really involved when you're playing? Because I know, I will give you just an example. I remember a long time ago, I've seen Vinny Colaiuta. I took all what I can from him, and at the end I had like 5% I couldn't really master because it's so much information. So now when I take classes with like someone, I'm trying to ask less stuff, not too much. We'll work on 1 or 2 points, and we're gonna grow up with that. Because before I was like, give me information, but how you manage that?
Yes, but I think you have a point where when you say like growing older, we also are better at studying. I think because we're a bit more wise, and we know that if I, as you said, if I get too much, I will anyway not integrate so much at the end. For me, it's a bit of everything. So of course I will take what I'm taught to study, just to study, to rehearse, to get stronger, faster, more musical, more have a playing more fine. But then I will always try to take this new knowledge into some kind of creation. So it can be like playing with the band, like how can I apply these new beats, or if I do a composition or a video, how can I integrate what I learned? So for example, I did some videos last year with Hélène Mayer. She's a percussionist here.
I saw the video. Yeah, I saw the video.
So for mine also, I tried to take, because I studied with Aruna just before, I tried to take what we saw in the courses to put it into creation. So there's a bit of Aruna in both videos that was lately released. And also, when I compose for Bea Box, my project, I also take some stuff I got from percussion and will, for example, put it into electronic beats and then put a song on top. And so a little bit of octopus work.
Yeah. And going to that, actually, how, because there's drummer watching, you're a percussion player, how you manage when you play with one drummer or like 2, 3 percussion player, how you see that? Because many people have different ways to manage that. But are you the lead, or like, depend on, I mean, where your place, but how you like to be as a musician when you play with one drummer or with 2, 3 more percussion players surrounding you?
That's a very good question. My pleasure is usually to first fix that, like, what is my role in that band or that whatever project. So am I there to color? Am I there to lead? Am I there to accompany? And so I will first figure that out.
Yeah.
And if I'm in, let's say, like a pop rock world band where the drummer is really strong and has a strong feel and is really imposing, I will see it like a puzzle regarding parts-wise, percussion parts. But then a challenge that I really like is, and I got that actually from Christian Pamerlo.
Yeah, oui.
Great jazz drummer.
Yeah, of course.
I studied with him, and he taught me that when I play the tambourine, I should be really, really with the hi-hat of the drummer I'm playing with. So I kept that, and nowadays when I play with a drummer, because I know that, for example, if I play toys with a drummer, I cannot really impose a feel anyway. So I will try to really understand his feel and be one with it. That's really like...
It's so hard. It's so hard. It's hard. Like just the eggs, like the shaker eggs in studio. Like 15, 20 years ago, I was in studio at Piccolo in Montreal, and I remember Luc Boivin was recording one eggs. I was doing a few percussion with him, but he has just a on click track, and I'm like, Isaac, man, I think that was the hardest part of the day. Even that, that.
And Luc masters that. I mean, Luc, Paul Picard, they are like masters of toys. But the thing is that I think when we listen really carefully and we let go of what we would like it to be or how we would like it to groove, it's not. I think it can be pretty a nice process and not so hard. And when you really get it and you feel it, and the drummer, of course, feels it, it's super satisfying. It's just the best. I
was expecting you will answer like a funny things like more cowbell. That's it. If the drummer doesn't follow more cowbell, it will be on the time. Well, hey, the time flies so fast. I want you to promote yourself. I want you to tell us. Well, by the way, there's a chat on the side. I want you to put your website where the people can reach you if you teach your coming show, if they're coming. So this is your time for talking with the people about it.
Perfect. I'll do that. So I'll join, I think, YouTube and Facebook chat, and I can chat with anyone who would like that. Yeah.
That's so cool. And at the end, please just put your website still in the chat. Can be very cool.
Okay, cool.
And one more thing. Now you had that theater show, but when you're going to be back in Montreal, do you have other plan in Montreal, like with bands or projects? Because in the COVID, people are restarting to think about future stuff. So do you have any project coming out in that side of the world?
Actually, I've been asked already for 2 shows, but short term. So with the quarantine, when I'm back in Montreal, it's so far not possible really for me. I was currently on tour, like it's not a super like it's like gigs here and there, but it's over the year. I was still with Les Trois Accords, so I still hope that I would play with them when the crisis is resolved. But and I work with dancers in Montreal, so I think when I'm back, this will still continue. I play and compose for dancers. Yeah.
So cool. I played a few times with dancers. It was hard. It's just good. I love it. But I was playing percussion, not drumming. And I was playing with a girl who was doing a boleradoras.
Like Sarah Louis-Jean, probably. Is that her?
No. It was like 10 years ago. And they have like a kind of pattern, and the one is not the kick, like as you will feel. It's like boom, it's like just to get that. I remember I was like, okay, I need to practice. And they were like, well, you can play like odd meter stuff. Whoa.
But the feel,
is different.
Absolutely.
So cool. Well, I'm so happy the time flies, but thanks for accepting the invitation.
Big pleasure.
And like I told you, when you have new stuff, not this season, season 2, we will start to promote all the artists they pass on the show. So whatever you have new videos, you want to, whatever, we will promote it. You tell me, and we will just share it for everybody. It will be so cool.
Amazing. Thank you so much. That was a big pleasure. Merci, c'était très le fun.
Ben, merci à toi, puis va te coucher. It's so late for you. What time it is now?
Là, il est presque 1h du matin. 1 a.m. now in Germany.
Ah, it's the time for the third beer in Germany. They always like start with that.
Yes.
So they sleep and they wake up with beer. So yeah.
True.
Sorry,
True
German.
fact. Yeah.
Well, in Canada it's the same with but this maple syrup. So no worry. Every country has their weird stuff. In Mexico it's tequila. So we have other stuff.
That's good too.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Hey, thank you so much, and let's keep in touch soon.
Yes, sure. Have a great show.
Bye
Bye-bye.
bye. Take care. Thank you, guys. Sorry, the time flies so fast, and I want to have the time for everyone. But everybody, they are in the show. You can always chat with them. You can talk with them now, and they're reachable. Just before we go with the next guest, I want to just make a few. Just want to say a few things. Please go subscribe YouTube, Instagram, Facebook of Drumfield Cafe. The most important right now is the Facebook, because it's where you can find all the contests. We won't have any more, but we already have had like a few contests. So if you want to have the chance to win something, you need to be connected there. There's a lot of homemade product, very cool, from small company or bigger one we are promoting because they are working out. I just want to say something. Whatever you are in the world, please help your music store. It's a hard moment, but if you were planning to buy one cymbals or like one conga, whatever, percussion or drum instrument, guitar, please go help them, because they will need your help. If they're closed, sometimes they can still send you the stuff by shipping or whatever, like system, or they can put on a side and you can go get it. So it's very important to help the local business in the city where you are in the world. I really think it's a good way for encourage for the economy kind of restart in some ways. Next week, just for a reminder, if you want to be on, check out the show in 2 weeks. Sorry, June 17. I'm gonna have Nazir Abdul Kabir. I will have Joel Stevenet, Don Lombardi, Paul Bostaff, Jim Riley, and Matt Alpern. They are the guests for the 17th. And the 16th, I have Thomas Pridgeon come in on the French version at the end. Yeah, if you're new on the channel, just go check it out. YouTube, Drumfield Cafe. There's around 17 shows already recorded. Most of them are in French, but there is English. They call the World Edition. So we have people like from all around the world. So let's go with our next guest, actually. She studied in Conservatory of Quebec of Music. She graduated from the Percussion Institute of Technology of Hollywood. She appeared in Modern Drummer, BAM Magazine, the Los Angeles Times, and many other like very big like magazine and newspaper. She played with Eric Marental, Barbara Morrison, Alex Acuna, Circus Floras. The Grammys nominated Chris Bennett. She played with the Dixon drum. Let's welcome my friend Suzanne Morissette.
Hey.
How are you doing?
Eric. Hi. So good to see you.
Good to see you. Actually, I will say something before we start for the audience. Last time we did the video chat, me and her. I think we could talk 1 hour and a half about stuff. It's true, huh? What we did was supposed to be 5 minutes. I think we did like 35, 40 minutes, because you're a very sympathetic person, and that's one of your thing you need to put in your pocket. Is a very good comment. So how are you doing?
I'm great. It's so cool. You know, I was listening to your other guest. J'écoutais ton autre interview avec Joannie, and so great to hear names, you know, from my past. Des noms du passé comme Christian Pamerlo. You know, we went to school together. On a étudié au Conservatoire de musique ensemble. It's just so good to hear a name from the past like that, and it's just great to be reminded. J'aime bien avoir les noms comme ça des drummers du Québec et tout ça, qui comme toi. On a tellement de choses en commun aussi, puis on s'est rencontrés seulement peut-être il y a 5 ans avec Odyssée quand tu étais au Odysséo.
Exact.
Donc, c'est super. Puis tu as des invités sur ton show qui sont des grands batteurs qui sont I am a fan of, like, you know, Mark Kelso, David Garibaldi. Oh my gosh, you have really great guests.
Yeah, but the thing is the spirit of the vision, the spirit of Drumfield Cafes. There's no place for ego. So it's the way we're thinking as a sharing platform for talking about what we like to do and what the people wants to do. And particularly in this moment with the COVID, it's not that easy sometimes for everybody. So we want to get rid of that, like a deep breath and talk about something we like and we want to do. And just to mention something, you said Christian Pamerlo and other big names. Christian will come. I will invite him. I just talked with him the other day. I told him he's going to be on the show in the second season.
Oh,
So
nice.
yeah. So because now
I will watch.
Sorry.
Je serai là. I will watch. Yes.
Yeah. And what about you? I see you're on your drum set. Do you do a lot of drumming, teaching online, things like that, or?
Well, now that you're mentioning it, maintenant que tu mentionnes ça, j'ai été plus comme one-on-one. Quand j'enseignais, c'était plus moi. Ma technique, c'est plus, j'aime bien être one-on-one avec l'étudiant. I've been teaching for years, and it's mainly been one-on-one, and it's kind of my favorite way of teaching, actually. Mais c'est ma façon préférée d'enseigner est avec l'élève dans la même room.
Yeah, exacto.
Mais avec le COVID, with COVID and being like having all to quarantined, ça m'a vraiment poussé à regarder l'internet et comment faire, how to teach
manage that,
and, make it like doable. It's a challenge, I must say. It's been a big learning curve for me.
Oh yeah,
because I'm more like a live music kind of person. I play with many different live groups. I would say I'm behind the rest of you guys as far as the technology and all that. And
but you adapted well. I see big screen in the back. You have your camera, your setup in the front. So I think you did a pretty good job.
Oh, thank you. It's it's just we have to at some point. Tu dois être à la touche de à la date de ce qui se passe.
Okay.
Avec ça, c'est comme ça m'a forcé à vraiment plus regarder, OK, comment qu'on fait ça, puis d'une bonne façon, que ça soit tout half-ass, que ça sonne bien, puis que donc j'ai appris beaucoup, let's say, in the last couple of months.
I'm sure about that, and it's just good. There's new things you can learn, and you can put because you just mentioned something. You told me the other day. Sorry, you were supposed to be launch a new album and be on tour, like soon with their country band. What's the name of their country band again?
Mustangs of the West.
So it's a cool part. Is it available right now on YouTube and people can get?
It's on. We have a YouTube channel. Yes, Mustangs of the West. And we are on Spotify, iTunes, all the platforms.
So great.
Yeah, and Amazon. We're pretty much anywhere you can find us. There's downloads and we have an album. On a été très chanceux que la compagnie de disques voulait imprimer notre album. C'était notre premier. We were very lucky. The record label allowed us to print the album. Wow. And then this happened. It's very difficult to promote an album with the situation right now.
It's hard.
But c'est disponible. Vous pouvez aller sur notre site web, mustangsofthewest.com. Puis nos albums est là, notre marchandise et tout. And it's available for downloads.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, at the end of the interview, please go put the link of that in the chat so that people can have a direct link to whatever you want to promote. They can access to it, I will say something to the public. The first time I've met you is way long time ago, is in 98. My first time I heard about you, I went to a drum clinic in Jonquière. It's in the province of Quebec, and you were playing with Joanne Blondin. And I think I was not able to drive. Well, no, I think I was 16 years old, but I think I was 16. And I remember I went there with Paul Frederick was there as the first time I met him for the first time from Pearl. And the dear Paul, and it was a great friend. But anyway, you were there. And at the end, I was so thrilled because I won the cymbal stand. There was like 2-3 like big gift, like door prizes, and I got the stand. I was like, yes. And that was a good experience. I remember the clinic itself. And it's the first time I saw him. Later on, Ralph Angelo from the Montreal Drum Fest and the Quebec Drum Festival, he asked you for be part of the drum, etc. So you make the cover story and all that. So you know that it's small world. So I remember it's far like
wow. That is so fantastic. I wish you would have reminded me that before, even when I saw it. But that's so cool, because that was one of the great things to go back to Quebec. And, you know, with Sabian, we did a crash and ride with, you know, with Joanne, like you said. And that was so much fun. And then to also be invited to perform at Ralph Angelilo's Drum Fest. Ralph has, you know, helped the drumming industry in Quebec and Montreal. Like, I mean, not even there, just like
everywhere.
Worldwide. And, you know, I'm always so grateful for Ralph. And, you know, it's just great. And thank you for mentioning that, because that was a very fun tour. I owe it to Sabian and Paul Frederick and Peter Stairs.
Peter, from Sabian.
Yeah, to put us out there. It was so much fun. I've, you know, and we went to, was that in Lac Saint-Jean? Was it in Lac Saint-Jean?
One Jonquière. I saw you in Chicoutimi, Jonquière. Yeah, it was in Lac Saint-Jean. Yep.
Is that where you're from? I mean, where were you born?
I'm from Alma.
Alma. That's right, Alma. Wow.
So small world.
J'espère qu'il y a de la famille un peu québécoise aussi, ou des amis québécois, parce que j'ai invité des gens. Donc, pour ça, j'essaie de faire ça français, anglais un peu.
On peut faire les deux, il n'y a pas de problème, c'est bien correct. Ben, justement, tu as fait le conservatoire en musique. You've been in the Conservatory of Music of Quebec, and after that, you went to Hollywood in the PIT. So tu es allé en Californie, à Hollywood, au Percussion Institute and Technology. How was that move? Well, first tell us why you thought about that. Why you didn't choose to go to l'UDM, or you didn't go to New York? Why you choose that jump, that big jump?
Well, thanks for asking. Merci pour demander cette question. C'était quand j'ai fait une demande des bourses. Le ministère des Affaires culturelles à Québec, à l'époque, était très supportif pour les musiciens qui étudiaient dans la musique, et donnait des bourses pour aller étudier à l'extérieur. Et j'ai été très chanceuse pour pouvoir demander des bourses au ministère des Affaires culturelles. Et puis, ça a été un peu challenging, un peu essayer de décider où je voulais aller. Puis, en premier, en fait, je voulais aller à Drummers Collective, qui était à New York. And then North Texas State was also another one I really wanted to go to. And I ended up with Musicians Institute, not necessarily because it was in California, which was like, oh my gosh, you know, but because the program they had, the structure, they sent me like all this paperwork that was so well organized. So I was able to present that to the government as like a plan for the year. So je dois beaucoup au gouvernement québécois. J'ai fait une demande de bourse, et puis le Musicians Institute avait un programme très bien défini, et ça m'a aidé de pouvoir être éligible pour les bourses. Donc, you know, because of that, I was eligible and got a grant from the Quebec government.
This is so helpful. Like I talk about that, the first world edition with Joel Thomas from DW, Gretsch, all that part, and we're talking about like how important is the scholarship for kids, for not just kids, but growing musician. It's helped to growing as a person. Is give you more like self-confidence. You can practice your instrument. And this is a very good example you have been able to do it, because it's cost a lot. Like, for example, I did long time ago an application to Berklee College in Boston, and I could have the scholarship, like, but still it's very expensive. I mean, I don't want to have a mortgage for another, you know what I mean? I mean, I think it's so when the government can help, it's a really good approach, and it gives chance to talented people and talented kids to grow up. So you've been lucky to do that. And from there, you met people, of course, because it's a good connection, who have been your, well, one or two person, you can name it. I've been one of those persons. They help you out after you finish your school to bring you in the music scene in Cal.
Well, many people were, you know,
many people, yeah.
that to happen. Joe Porcaro was, you know, was wonderful. Joe Porcaro, Jeff Porcaro's dad, was, you know, like kind of like letting. I wasn't able to work at the time. Like I had a great opportunity, but because of legal paperwork, I wasn't able to do one of the nice job that Joe had kind of like passed on to me. But he did send me some work, give me some work that was like in Santa Barbara.
Okay.
And I worked with David Page. I mean, not David Page, Marty Page. David Page's dad. Marty was doing a show every year in Santa Barbara, and like so you start to know people in the industry, and then I ended up just getting a gig, like a 6-nighter gig in, you know, with playing some cover bands, but that was like regular work. So I kind of took that because at the time I wasn't able to keep that one gig that was offered to me because, like I said, of legal paperwork. But through that, I was able to channel other things. But you know, and then I ended up in a jazz quartet. And the reason how I was able to establish my legality.
Yeah, and work and have real gig and pay taxes. To be legal and then do our stuff, and it's perfect. And
there was a friend, actually, I need to mention my friend Andrea Carroll, who's also a drummer in the area in California, and she in LA, and she was in a band, an all-female jazz quartet, and she was not able to continue with the band, and she passed it on to me. And because of the Jennifer York Quartet and you know, Jennifer was Skycam 5, she was like on the news every day. And because of that band, and back then there was not as many female drummers.
No,
so there's more and more now, which is a great thing.
There's a lot, and it's perfect. It's making diversity is perfect. Yep.
But at the time, because of that, I was able to, you know, it was an all-female quartet, and she auditioned. So for me to be able to be in the band, we had to post an ad in a paper, and there had to be auditions, so that way that I can get my legality over there. So, and that's how it all happened. And then once my paperwork was established, it was easier for me to contract some work because, you know, as soon as possible, I wanted to, you know, be legal because, you know, it was a different thing back then. But it took a while. It took about a year. And then I was able to establish my legality. And, you know, after MI, I was on a student visa first and then moved on to an O1 so that I was able to work. But yeah, it's a process, you know.
Yep. Oh yeah. I got a lot of visa for all those years, and it's the way it is. Just jumping to project, you said I know you had a lot of projects. You played even in the Circus Flora. Because I want you talk about that, because it's a real circus, and you have to follow the action, and it's not easy. People, when they go to see a show like that, they have no idea. They sat down, they look at the juggler, the person, and they think it's easy, but it's a lot of work. So can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, thanks for asking that question. And of anyone, you would know best.
Yeah, I know, but you're the guest, so I was thinking it can be cool. You can mention about it.
It's a great school. I think the circus school is a great school because it teaches you to be spontaneous. And, you know, and I would go with Circus Flora for like a month, you know, and they were like 2 weeks at a time, and they would fly the band from LA to wherever the circus will be. And then it ended up being just one place in St. Louis. But it just really taught me a lot about spontaneity and just being able to, you have to be there constantly. It's like you have to be focused on the show, so that like anything that happens, you have to be ready to react to it. So that, I call it a school. It's a different way of playing. You know, you couldn't do that in bands you play with, but you know, it's a different thing. But yeah, it was a great way to I'd end up at the end of the tour, my chops would be up. It was like, oh my gosh, you know, it was like,
for sure.
Like I wanted to go play with bands and I wanted to play all kinds of stuff.
For sure.
Of course, you know that it's a no-no, but yeah, thanks for asking. That's a good question. I enjoy Circus Flora, and thank you to Janine Delarte. She's the one who got me playing with the circus and all the folks, you know, in St. Louis. The circus is still going, but now they have musicians in St. Louis, which is a huge pool of incredible musicians, a pool of tons of people. Musicians in St. Louis are fantastic. Dave Weckles from there, and you know, so many other greats. Miles Davis, you know. So,
I forgot that actually, but well, you just put something from my university history classes. Yeah, but it's true. Well, the time fly. We have a few minutes, okay?
Yes.
I want later on. Please put all your information in the chat, your website or your coming album. Don't forget that, please, for the people can look at it. You like right now. What are your plans? Because I know you didn't have your teaching, but do you have like planning to retour like around end of 2020s or 2021? What like your production or all the shows you're working on told you?
Yeah, at the moment, pour l'instant, it looks like 2021 avec with Mustangs de West.
Okay.
And then you know, like for this year, it's probably going to be like different projects, maybe the jazz band, the jazz quartet, and I have a jazz trio that I love to play with as well. You know, it's going to be streaming probably.
Okay.
Ça va être probablement pour streaming, but as far as what's coming right up, there's nothing really planned yet.
Okay.
So 2021, but we'll keep you posted. I will enter the info for Mustangs of the West at least.
Oh, that's so cool. Thank you for accepting the invitation for say a little it's very short time. I'll go 20 minutes today because we have a lot of people. But I'm very happy you took the time for accepting it and be there and talk about your experiences. And I really ask the people to go check it out or like our website information, whatever you have. She have a big background. You have a big background of playing like for all those years. I was checking you did like big names or very small name, but a lot. So that's make you getting you had a lot of experiences. So it's super cool. And not everybody or every musician can have that amount of experience like you got during your career of drummers. It's amazing.
Well, thank you, Eric. Merci beaucoup.
Well, be safe. Stay home for the moment until all will be open. Practice, and we'll see you soon.
Okay.
Take care.
Thank you, everybody. Merci à tous.
Bye-bye. Okay, the time flies. Sorry for that. Just a little reminder before my next guest. Please subscribe YouTube channel, Facebook, Instagram. Facebook is the page right now where the most information going to be posted, like for contests, like whatever new things we're going to have on Drumfield Cafe. If you don't know Drumfield Cafe, my name is Eric Boudreau. I won't talk about Drumfield Cafe about my project, but it's our project because now we're going to be a team in the show. Starting soon, but I mean the first will be 15th of September, the second season. Please check it out. The next show in 2 weeks, the 17th of June. Nasir Abdullah Kabir, Joel Stevenet, Don Lombardi, Paul Bostaph, Jim Riley, and Matt Alpern going to be on the show, and I have Thomas Pridgeon the 16th. So let's go with the next guest. It goes fast, so I will do it quick. That guy is born in Caracas, Venezuela. He started to play drum at 12 years old. He played with many different projects, like Latino project, like project from like he's based in Toronto in Canada, like Roberto Lugo, Camila, La Resistencia. He played with Yendor Sonor and Feisty Cymbals, and maybe other will check it out with him. So let's welcome my friend Randolph Jimenez. ¿Cómo está?
Hello, my friend. How are you doing?
I'm pretty good. How's the life on your side?
Sorry?
How is the life? How is the quarantine?
Well, it's pretty good. You know, we're in a lockdown, but just adapting to this new world, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Do you teach a lot online, or do you right now?
Yeah, I'm doing. I'm teaching online. I've been teaching for a while, And I actually started teaching online before the all this situation with the pandemic and all stuff. So it was kind of, good because when this started, I was like already prepared for this.
Well, you were not surprised, so you have already like the camera set up, the drums. So you have a studio, I guess, in your place, or how you manage the classes?
Yeah, I have a studio, but it's not here in my house. It's pretty close, actually. It's like just 5 minutes away from here. So cool. 5 minutes driving.
Okay.
But I also have a practice set at home, where sometimes I do some lessons just with a practice pad. So I do them from home. But when I have to teach some like more related to drums, like to the full drum set, then I go to my studio, which is pretty close.
Oh, that's so cool. And because some people doesn't have access to a studio or even a practice drum. Now there's a good thing because people can buy like a practice drum with low volume cymbals and be free to practice home, or putting meshes on their actual kit. So it's a freedom people cannot have. They couldn't have had like a few years ago.
Yeah, there's so many resources out there right now.
Exactly. Hey, tell us about you a bit, because I know you, but maybe a lot of people maybe they don't know you if they're coming from Europe or. So tell us about. I know you're from Venezuela, but
Yes.
but tell us how you started to play the drum, why you picked the drum, and why you moved to Canada, for example.
Sure. So, well, I'm from Venezuela, as you said. I started playing drums like at a very young age. Start like practicing around 12 years old, and by age 16, I was already playing professionally. I was getting paid to play gigs in my city mainly. Okay. I don't think I picked up the drums. I think it was more of a natural stuff, because there was always music in my house. There was music like 24/7. Like I was surrounded by a lot of music. Both of my parents are music lovers. So cool. My dad is kind of a rock guy who would put like Led Zeppelin, Deep Purple, Rolling Stones, all that. I grew up listening to all that, all of that. And then my mom would switch to, the soul stuff, R&B, pop, or like more soft music. So there was always music, and of course the Latin stuff that was happening around. So there was always music in my house. So to me, it was like more of a natural process. I got a drum kit. It was a toy drum kit, and I can clearly remember that. I still have it in my mind. I can picture the drum set. It was I must been like probably 3 or 4 years old, and I think that changed my life, because I fell in love with that drum kit, and it became my favorite toy. And that's pretty much the story. I remember I was always hitting stuff, pots and pans, then building my own drums with milk cans, actually, and hitting them with those hangers that used to come with a wood stick. So I would hit them with those sticks. And I was always like very curious about drums. And then when I was like around 12 years old, I met a guy. We became really good friends. His dad was already a professional percussionist. So he had an old bass drum that he wasn't using, and he knew that I was very curious about drums. He gave it to me. Yeah, he gave it to me. Then I bought a snare drum, put them together, and just started practicing by myself. Started to play, and long story short, I'm here in Canada.
When did you move to Canada? When was your move in Canada?
I moved to Canada 7 years ago.
Okay.
There was a point in my life back home where I was playing like very great gigs with some of the top names in my city and in the country, actually. I was also doing recording sessions. I had a recording studio. I was teaching. I was doing lessons. I was doing clinics. And but there was a point where like I felt the need to do something else, to expand my horizons. Then I thought about moving to the States, actually, to New York. I wanted to go to New York, but I have some family in the States, and they actually recommended me, hey, why don't you try Canada? We have heard that Toronto is a great city.
Toronto is an amazing city. Toronto is a
Yeah.
great. So you
It's
pick a
beautiful.
good city. Yeah, no, for real. I lived there almost 1 year, like two times 6 months, and I love it.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, I said, yeah, why not? Let me see, because they told me that with the immigration stuff in the States, that was after the attack in 2011. Like, it went through a process when everything was like kind of more difficult. So I thought about it, and 2 years later, I was moving to Toronto, and I fell in love like immediately. It was love at first sight, I think, and I still love it. I think this is a great city to be in.
So much stuff to discover. You mentioned something good. You said your dad was listening rock, your mom was listening R&B, like soul music, and there's also the Latino, like the music scene. And this is something that people doesn't cross borders. Sometimes I'm here, like I'm in Mexico City, okay, so I'm here for like a few months, but I come here like every 2-3 months for a few times since 5 years, and now I discover that scene, and I realize the Latino scene is amazing. Like whatever country, Venezuela, Mexico, Panama, Uruguay, that whatever, like Argentina, they have like crazy musician, crazy music, and you think like is reggaeton, is la banda. No. When you go see a show,
yeah,
and you see the drummer playing, you got something. It's not joking, man. It's really, it's typical. If you never live that, I went to see a band of Norteños for fun, like before the quarantine.
Okay.
They're amazing. They only do,
yeah,
but that groove, it's groove so much.
Yeah.
You don't put attention after a few minutes to the drummer, and you only listen to it. And this is really typical for the Latino music, or even reggaeton. There's reggaeton dance stuff in the radio, but there's reggaeton live band, and they're crazy good, man. And Venezuela, I know a few musicians, like I was following them, and you have great musicians in Venezuela, man. And the good thing with internet now, these information pass borders.
Exactly.
And people can eat that.
Have access to that.
Exactly. So, and just for saying another thing, before, people can say, I need to travel, or I don't speak the language, okay? I don't speak perfect Spanish, but I have a 40%, okay? So,
that's awesome.
But even that, you're a musician. So you can play music with whatever person, whatever if you don't speak the language, you know what I mean? So
yes, exactly. There's no barrier right there. Like, of course, the language will open like some other different doors, right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
It happened to me when I came here. I didn't know anything about English. I had no English, like no English at all. Zero English, and I had to focus actually for like the first 2-3 years that I was here. I was so focused on my English. I said to myself, if I want to play here, if I want to make a living here, but by playing music, I have to speak. I have to speak English. So it was a tough process, but yeah. Of course, there are some other situations where, like, okay, you can understand if somebody pass you a chart or something. Yeah, we can all play, right? But there are some other parts that needs to be communicated, and that's when the language could be like a little barrier, right?
Exactly. And talking about that, one question go to another one. Who have been your bigger influences to make you who you are right now as a good drummer? Who or what kind? Who maybe a band, like who influenced you the most? Maybe 2-3. It doesn't need to be only one person.
Yeah. Well, I think there are too many to mention. I have a kind of a jazz era favorite drummers. I listened to a lot of jazz when I was a teenager. So Papa Joe, Joe Jones, Elvin Jones, Tony Williams, all those drummers were like, I got like really crazy about them, and I studied them for years. But if I can pick my three top favorite drummers or main influences, I would say Vinny Colaiuta.
Yep.
His level of playing is so organic. I love the fact that he's very versatile, and he likes to take risks and all that stuff. I love also Dave Weckl. He's very musical. right? Not a secret. He was one of the greatest. His swing, his soloing, and his musicality, and also I would say Virgil Donati.
Yep.
I think he's from a different planet for sure.
He's a grandmaster of drumming. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, the guy is so powerful. So his understanding of coordination, independence, interdependence, and all that stuff. So I think that's a good mix. Those three guys, I think they're like my main top 3 influences. Of course, as I said, there's like so many drummers that I have listened throughout the years, right?
Oh yeah, and anyway, how was the scene in Caracas back then? Maybe now it's completely different because you moved a long time ago. But how was the music scene, like the level of musician in general in your music circle? I mean.
Yeah, it was really great. It was really great. The level of musician is pretty high. It's very, very, very demanding. Because being a Latina doesn't mean that we all play, of course, like Latin music. We don't even have to practice, like, you know, playing clave with the left foot and playing casca with the right. That's something that I don't know, just comes natural. I think it's something that we like. I've never remember like me practicing those patterns. I just sat down and I couldn't play because, you know, you're surrounded like for so much music, right? But we also have all that influence. As I said, I grew up listening to a lot of rock, a lot of soul, jazz, pop, funk, all that music. And not only me, but most of my friends, most of the people that I grew up with in terms of music are great players. Most of them are left the country like many years ago. But it was really great. It was really great. I was playing 10, 12 shows a month at least.
Wow.
So one Friday you could play even three gigs. So you could start 8 p.m. in a place, and then you could end up at 4 a.m., 5 a.m. in another place, and there was still packed, like different places, different cities sometimes.
I lived that. I've lived that, but in Cuba when I went to a trip.
Okay.
They were doing like I asked the drummer like, how many sets do you do per night? Only 9 tonight. 9 sets. I mean, when I do 3 and I'm crying. So I'm exaggerating, but I mean, you know, it's a lot of energy, a lot of focus, a lot of you have to keep going and be focused. So that's why they have the drummer play percussion, and sometimes there are 2-3 percussion player because they don't need to do like how you said, like all the claves. That is all mixed between the players. Sometimes the singer will do the clave with the wood block, and you know,
exactly. But and sometimes I would play like 3 gigs in a night. When I say 3 gigs is with 3 different bands in 3 different places. Sometimes with the first band I would do 3 sets of music. Then I would do 1 set with the second band. Then I would do 2 more sets with the last band. So it was really crazy, and it was like that every single weekend. Like you would start playing on Thursday, and on Sunday afternoon you were still playing. So it was really great, the music scene back then, before leaving actually.
Okay, and that I might say they might have influenced your way to play, because I realize you play traditional, for example. Is there a reason for that, or you were playing like that and you switch one day because you have to pick one? You can do both, doesn't matter. But mainly you do that. So when you were doing shows, did you hurt yourself? Or was it just a question of like of technique? You were playing already traditional.
I actually, when I started playing, because I'm self-taught, I started playing open-handed. So that was like my natural approach to the drum set. The first time that I sat on a drum set, I started playing open-handed. So it was match. And but for some reason, then I started looking at videos and learning more and more. And then, this is the way you're supposed to play, right? But for some reason, I actually can't remember. I think it was because of the influence that I had. Mm-hmm. And I think it was Buddy Rich, the first, all those jazz guys mainly play traditional, right? And I think it was because of that. I just thought that, okay, let me try this. And I just started playing traditional. It felt natural to me. There wasn't a problem in terms of control or something like that. Of course, I had to work a lot on, my technique and all that stuff. But I just I play also match. I can play match, but I just feel like more confident when playing traditional for some reason. I don't know. I can play a backbeat. I can play rock or something, and I have no problem with that. I know there are some drummers that have had problems with that, and I have problems on their fingers or their wrist or whatever, but I have never had any problem with playing traditional.
You're a lucky one, but you have a great feel, because when you
Thanks,
I
man.
saw your videos, and when you treat traditional, you have a very good feel. And a long time ago, I was talking with Steve Smith, and he told me, like, when he's playing, like very like mainly like you, like traditional, but when he start to getting more volume, when he feel the limitation of that, he always switch. Not always, but some most of the match, and he will get more, and he will come back. But I seen a clinic with Weko long time ago, and he was telling, he was saying, like, I was playing both hands, like traditional, switching all the time, and he started to be tired about that. And after he saw Freddie Gruber, they put his drum in some ways. He will play mostly traditional, and it was a great clinic about like posture, sitting down on the drum, be confident, and be knowing your own body and reacting. We had in the French version, like we talked about that last week with Anne. She's a kinesiotherapist, and she was telling us how to sit down, how to put your seat a bit upper, and why it's expanded. All is reacting to your body, and it's good because you play traditional. You know how to set up your snare in some ways. You know what I mean? It's
for sure.
But I'm just saying it's helpful when you know those things.
Yeah, I have to actually give credit to one drum teacher that I have that I had back in the day. I was already playing professional gigs, but because I was self-taught, I said to myself one day, okay, I think I need to work on my technique, and I want to see somebody who I want to fix my hands. So I called this guy. He studied with Alan Dawson in New York back in the 70s. So Alan Dawson, I don't know if you know, but Alan Dawson, I think he was a student of George Lawrence's Stones, the author for Stick Control, and all those guys used to play traditional, right? So Alan Dawson taught this guy how to play traditional and all about Moeller technique, and I took lessons with this guy. His name is Luis Tomás Garcia. Is one of the greatest teachers in my country. I would say like probably the best. And I took lessons with him for 6 months, only working on pretty much traditional technique. He taught me everything about the Moeller technique, all about the grip, like developing one finger, then the other one, then developing that strength. Wow. So I have to actually give credit to him for that.
Super cool. Hey man, the time fly. We have like 3 minutes. But I will say something in Spanish actually, because I realized that you have like a big fan club of Latino writing you.
Oh, awesome.
En Augusto, el channel de Drumfield Café tiene una especial cápsulas por 1 hora, 70 minutos, de 3 artistas bateristas del mundo, de Argentina, España y yo creo que otro es Panamá. So, 3 bateristas muy famosos, y es una experiencia por como 1 hora, y sí, la reacción es muy bien. En noviembre, octubre, yo creo que es un live por semana. So
man, your Spanish is awesome. You're sounding really great.
I have 3 tequila for that. No. No, man. For real. I mean,
that helps a lot.
It's about, but I won't be the host for the Latino the Latino show. But we want a show in Spanish, because I think it's a very important. And North America has French, English, and Spanish. So the channel wanted to have like the 3 idioma. So I think it will be very cool. So check it out in August. We will have that capsula for Tres Artistas. So it will be very cool. So before we go, please tell us where the people can reach you for having drum lessons, and what are your next projects coming, for the people can follow you.
Yeah, well, there were supposed to be a lot of festivals this summer, but unfortunately they're all canceled so far. So we have no news. But hopefully we'll be back soon to hitting the stage and doing stuff. I'm working with some different artists here, so I'm very, very lucky. I have a drum meetup coming up.
Okay.
I will be releasing the digital version this summer.
Cool.
Because I love to teach, and I've been spending like a year or so working on that book. I'm very looking forward, and that's what's coming up. People can reach me on Instagram. I am also on Facebook. I'm on all social media of Randolph Jimenez, and yeah, I'm like very easy to reach. If you want to work or have lessons or anything, feel free.
Man, thank you for accepting the invitation. We need to have a coffee together when
yeah, sure,
be done.
Let me know when you come to Toronto. We'll be more happy. I'll be more than happy.
Yeah, I think I might be in Toronto in end of September.
Beautiful.
So if nothing changed, it will be in this in that time. Maybe this summer. I will keep you posted.
Awesome.
But thanks for sharing all that. And
no problem, man. My pleasure. Thank you for having me. It was amazing.
It was my pleasure. So we will keep in touch, buddy.
Sure. Take care.
Bye. Take care, man. Bye.
Bye. Take.
So sorry, time flies. We could talk like forever, but it's like that. Thank you for the people writing in the chat. It's super nice. Whatever can be in Spanish and French and English is super cool. Just before to go to the next artist, we have 2 more to come. Please subscribe YouTube channel, Facebook and Instagram of Drumfield Cafe. Super important. Facebook for now is where you can get the most information, contest and all. Yesterday, if you in the French version, we had a contest for winning a drum shell from Luca Handmade. The value of $400. So when the winner could decide to keep the shelf and make his own snare, or ask Luca to put the hardware on it, and then go check it out, because Luca make all from scratch. I mean, the only thing they don't is the throw off. The rest is they make his own lugs and all. It's super like it's a very good product. So go check it out. And we have a contest with the student, and we have 4 winners actually. And they will be on the show next week, the June 9th. And they already, the 4 of them going to win something. So we have like a pad for a snare drum. We have like assembles, like handmade in Canada. Not Sabian, I mean another company, a PGB, like a drum beater, custom made. There's 2 pair of Vader drumsticks. So a lot of, and a cajon is true from Puck. So you see, so it's very good. If you want to win something, just go on the website, on Facebook, and you will see what's going on. The 17th of June, if you just log in, I will have Nasir Abdul Kabir, Joel Stevenette, Don Lombardi, Paul Bostaff, Jim Riley, and Matt Alpern. If you don't know them, Nasir was playing with a lot of great jazz players in the past, like Tiger Okoshi. Joel Stevenette is a great drummer. He do like some kind of tribute to Neil Peart, but in his own ways. So go check it out on some of those videos online. Don Lombardi is the owner of DW with John Good, and he's the guy owning Drum Channel. I really like Drum Channel, so you can always go check it out. They have great players there, good video. Paul Bostaff, Slayer. So if you, he's the drummer for Slayer for a long time. Jim Riley played with the Rascal Flatts, played with a lot of country music. Good band, so go check it out. And Matt Alpern is the drummer for Periphery, and he has a very cool channel too, like a podcast talking about all the business, and we're gonna have a chat about that. So great drummers. And the 16th of June, I have Thomas Pridgeon, so go check it out. So the next guest, I will go very quick in presentation because the time flies. He's teaching in Humber College. Play with Gino Vannelli, Pat Metheny, and many more. He's a very good, for me, he's a good jazz icon in Canada, but he's a good pop drummer too. He did a lot of gigs all around. We'll welcome him right now, Mark Kelso. Your microphone is off.
Sorry. How are you doing, Eric? Nice to see you, man.
Hey, thanks for accepting. We know each other for a long time, but
but
I was very happy you said yes, because I think it's good that people deserve to, if they're from Europe or something, they know you, because I think you're a really good drummer and you're a good person, and that's a good mix for a winning combination. So thank you for accepting it. It's very cool.
My pleasure. Thanks for asking.
So now you're in your house. Do you have a drum set in your place, or you need to go out for practicing right now during the quarantine?
No, I have all my drums. I live in a house, a detached house, little bungalow here. And I have a home studio set up in my basement. I was gonna go down there for the interview, but the the internet started acting up. So I thought rather than have it cut out in the interview, I'd bring it up into the living room. But yeah, I got a nice setup down there. I've been doing videos and posting videos. So if you go to my YouTube channel, you can see the setup. You know, I do multi-camera angles, and I've been learning Final Cut Pro. That's kind of what I've been taking, sort of learning during this break. You know, it's keeping me sort of sane, like where I can be creative. You know.
Yeah. You're in Mississauga, right?
Yeah. It's like 20 minutes west of Toronto. So.
Yeah, that's great because it's not everybody they have the chance to have a drum set in their place and they can play all in many hours per day. You have that freedom, so it's a pretty good opportunity. I didn't know you did your videos in your home house, so it's home studio. So it's nice. I checked out a few and it's very good, well done. Like the multicam and all. Are you using OBS for the different cam, or it's all Final Cut Pro?
No, it's all Final Cut Pro. Yeah, I didn't know about OBS. In fact, someone told me about that this afternoon, so I was just looking at it. But Final Cut Pro works really well. I started off in iMovie, but you can only do two clips at once. But Final Cut Pro, you can do up to 9 videos at once. So with all the editing and stuff, I'm maxing it out, but it's fun. It's a fun program to learn. I'm still trying to be creative doing that, you know.
And right now, do you take time to practice new stuff, or you or? Well,
I'm at home. I'm at home with my family, right? So I have two kids, and so there's some homeschooling going on, and we just got a new puppy 5-6 weeks ago. So. That I'm exhausted because I'm up at every morning taking her out for walks at 7 a.m. You know, so not musician hours. So, and she's a pup. She's eating and chewing everything in sight. So it's constant, watch. Like right now, my son is watching her so I can do the interview. Otherwise, I'd be just going, stop, hang on a second. You know, I'll be back.
That's great. It's give you.
I'm practicing a little bit here and there. Yeah.
Now I was thinking because those kids give you a good energy, and the funnest thing about that is like you're gonna feel it when you play drum. It's vocabulary of energy, you know. So,
do you have kids?
No, not yet. I have a dog, and my dog give me all the energy.
Yeah, that's why you say that. No, kids, you're exhausted.
They're draining you.
It's the opposite of what you're saying.
Well, I will tell you, I'm gonna have some of those in the next years.
Yes.
But thanks for those cues. I've seen you a few times with different projects. Actually, we played with Michel Cusson. I did it, and you did it. Do you have a great memories about one artist you play with, or maybe a few? Like this was a very good moment in your as a drummer, or just have it. Doesn't need to be a known drum musician. Like you had a feeling that moment was special.
Yeah. Well, I mean, one of the first things that comes to mind is Michel Cusson. Right, from Uzeb and Alain Caron. I was such a Uzeb fan back when they first came out, and then now that I worked with Alain in his trio setting, and I worked with Michel in one of his groups and various things, and of course Paul Brochu is really good friends of mine. So I have really, really positive memories of those guys, and actually coming out to Montreal and Quebec and playing the jazz festival and stuff. That was great. The 2.5 years I did with Gino Vannelli was a highlight because I was a fan of Gino's music ever since I was a teenager. So the fact that I got to play with him and tour with him for that length of time in Canada, around the world rather, was really, it was a dream come true, right? And how many people can say that in the music business? Someone who I dreamt of working with since I was a kid, and I did that, back in the early 2000s, 2002 to 2005. That when I got to play with Pat Metheny, that was incredible because, again, it's someone whose music I've followed since I was in college back in the 80s. Wow. So he came to Humber College, and he played with me and Mike Downs, and it was cool because he said he was about to do something he'd never done before, which was play with people he didn't know. And he said, but I checked them out online, and I think I'm going to have a good time because we did it cold with no rehearsal.
Oh, okay. Was sight reading?
Yeah, exactly. And he sent us the music in advance, so we checked out the music and learned. And he called tunes on stage. Let's do this one. Let's do this, and just kind of rehearsed them. but it really lends credence into having stuff online that's of you playing and how important that is, because someone like Pat Metheny went, okay, I'm going to play with this guy, Mark Kelso. Let me look him up. And he looked it up, and you think, oh my gosh, I would never have expected someone like Pat Metheny to be watching my video or something like that. So it was a real education that it's really important for everybody to have that kind of stuff online. Good quality stuff that sounds good and really reflects what they do. The second time we came back to Humber and I played with him again, a funny story was we were rehearsing, and it was funny because most of the time we were sitting around talking about our kids and how they're always on iPads, you know, and you're sitting there with Pat Metheny going, this is what we're talking about. Our kids are always on iPads and electronics and what a drag it is. How when we were their age, we were practicing and playing music, right? But we were doing a tune and we're rehearsing the tunes, and one of the tunes was a ballad, and it was a really kind of tricky form. So I was kind of humming the melody with him, and he stopped me. He says, "Mark, are you singing?" And I said, "Oh, well, I'm just trying to remember the melody." He says, "Can you sing?" I said, well, yeah. He says, "Do you want to sing this song?" I'm like, no, I don't want to sing the song. He says, "Oh," and he calls to the sound man. He says, "Andy, get Mark a mic. He's going to sing this."
I sing that. Good singer, right?
I said, "Pat, it's in Spanish. I can't sing in Spanish. I don't speak Spanish." She goes, "Don't worry about it. Just sing that melody. Just like sing the melody with me. It'll be great." And this is 10 minutes before we opened the doors.
Oh, nice.
And I was sweating bullets, man. And you know, we played a couple of tunes first, and then all of a sudden I pulled the microphone out, and you could hear the audience go, "Ooh!" So it was pretty funny, right? So that was my fun Pat Metheny story. I got to play drums with him and sing one of his tunes, and he was very, very complimentary. So it was really fun. He was a sweetheart, man. He was such a nice guy. I mean, he's as high as you can go on in the jazz guitar world, you know. And so for me, that was a real thrill and bucket list, and I say, yes, tick that one off. I got the chance to play with them, and most importantly, it was a really great experience, you know, because sometimes you play with people, you know, it's like you meet people and you play with them, and it's, you know, they're not nice, or it just doesn't go well, and you think, oh, I didn't do a good job. But he was really fantastic. He was so sweet. He's really sweet guy, really nice, and he was smiling and having fun, and he made the whole thing awesome.
You can feel it when you see that guy in interview or like when he play. It's the energy you can get from him. You say something funny, singing one day, but different story. I was recording a pretty good album with an artist in Montreal, and I was playing and I was making sound. You know, when you play sometimes like, I don't even remember. And I was playing, and after that, we were like listening one track, and the sound man's like, "Eric, good track, but please don't sing." I was like, "Okay." I don't sing. Like, and he tweaked the overhead, and we were able to hear me like making weird sound. So since that moment, I tried to control that level. Because realizing that is like a second sense. You know what I mean?
Well, and if you got headphones on, you're not really hearing it, you know. But it's being picked up by all the mics.
Exactly.
I just want to say hi to Suzanne. I see her. She's posting the little thing on the side here. Hi, Suzanne. It was so nice to watch your interview. I've known Suzanne, I don't even know for how long, over 25 years probably. I met her a million years ago, back when she lived in Montreal.
Yeah. Small community, man. Small community.
Oh, yeah.
Each other. Well, talking about you were mentioning you were in Humber College. You're still working in Humber College, right? Or are you teaching permanently there, or you do what do you do exactly in Humber College?
Yeah, I'm the head of the drum department, actually. So I kind of oversee the drum department. There's 9 drum instructors. There's about 65 drum students in the program. I do that. I run I give private lessons. I do a first-year master class. Larnell Lewis, who you all know, does a second-year master class now. He just got hired full-time as well last year.
Okay.
Teach. I have a 13-piece R&B funk ensemble. We do some, you know, like Bruno Mars, Beyonce, and Tower Power, and Earth, Wind and Fire, and Chaka Khan, that kind of stuff. So I started doing arrangements for that band. I do a course on creative development, which is based on live performance. Basically, getting your live performance chops together with the students, and then yeah, so lessons, masterclass, and that, and the ensemble, and those are the kind of main things. And then just oversee all the drum kits and take care of business in the department.
It's very good because that college have a very good notoriety. The people know well about that college, and they know it's one of the top. Like, and you're in the drum department, and not just that. All the other instruments are great teacher. Like, and whatever like instrument you want to learn. I'm mentioning that because we have students like listening, and every show. By the way, the number you see is from YouTube, it's not from Facebook. Usually we reach around to 500 to 3,000 people viewing the show. So I have like
right now.
Yeah, but it depends on the like with Rick Layton, 2,000 people at the end. So that's why if the kids want a good college to go study, it's a very good college, the Humber College, and it's in Toronto. I never been, so it's in Toronto. Or it's offside?
Yeah, Toronto. It's about 10 minutes from where I live, actually.
Okay, so it's
in Etobicoke, really, which a small area. But yeah, we just say Toronto. It's about 10 minutes from my house, so it's super convenient.
For sure, you don't have to be stuck in Toronto traffic. It's something.
In the last 10 years, it's gotten worse than Los Angeles.
Yeah,
it's a nightmare.
Just to cross.
But we still don't have as much construction as Montreal.
No.
You guys win for that, man. You guys win.
Well, I mean, it's very intense. Well, right now I'm in Mexico City. So
okay.
Yeah, I'm not in Montreal. I'm in Mexico City. My fiance have an apartment here, so we here.
Okay. All
and
right.
now I discovered the music scene here, and I can tell you they're great musicians. I make a friend here, is a good friend from Antonio Sanchez, and we have like great like music scene. But I'm not here all the time. I'm flying back and forward.
Right.
Mexico City is now the people think is very polluted and all. Yes, it's a big city, but it's less than before, for example. But because I was just thinking about that, the music scene here, the people like I can say that they're very given. So when at the moment you want to work with them, they're really let's go, let's do that and do that. It's super nice energy, and so that Latino energy, I really dig it, and it's when you feel it and you in it, because there's the different thing between going in a city on tour, play with them there, than living in the place for a few times. Now with the COVID, I've been here more, so I have more chat with the musician, so I can really feel the vibe, and it's amazing.
Oh yeah, I haven't been to Mexico City, but I've been to some of the areas, Oaxaca, and some of the smaller places. I love it down there. People are very friendly. I mean, it's great.
You should.
And I actually have some students who came to Humber from Mexico. Yeah, really talented players too.
If one day you want to come here for do drum, I just finished 5 drum clinics here, and I know the Yamaha rep because I play Paiste now since 7 years.
Right on.
Yeah, I'm a Paiste player. So if you want to come here, they're very good support. You can have a lot of good public. They really want like to see people. It's amazing. I feel sometimes like 15 years ago when you were going to the Montreal Drum Fest and people were like, they wanted to see that. You know what I mean? You did good years. You played a few times. Just to mention that. Which year did you do? You did 2 years, I guess, Montreal Drum Fest?
I know I did. I know 2007 and I think 2007. And then I did it again a couple of years ago in 2011, I think, and then I did Ralph's Festival out in Quebec. The second year he did that. So
the talking about that because the time flies, we're like about 10 minutes max, and I want to ask you. You did a lot of drum clinics, masterclass, and stuff like that. What are your target points when you do that? Do you have any approaches, or you just show up, you play the song, and you talk with the public, or you know what you want to show?
Usually the night before. I mean, I have a whole list of clinics that I've done because I want to make sure I don't go to the same place and repeat the same clinic over and over again. So I've got a whole list of stuff. And from teaching at Humber for 15 years now, I've got a backlog of information so I can do classes on a lot of different things. Mm-hmm. So, but my main target thing is always to talk about time and time feel and grooving. I want to, because, online in videos now, we see a lot of drum solos. We have like a lot of drum solos, and guys, super fast, blazing speed, you know, and people are always sending me those, and they're kind of fun to watch, you know. But then I think someone sent me a thing with a clip with James Gadsden one time, and it was just like a slow pocket groove at about 74 BPM, and I must have watched the thing about 12 times. It was so heavy. I was like, oh, it's so good. Where the drum solo thing, I might watch half of it, and then I get bored. That stuff doesn't interest me as much. So I really want to, you know, emphasize the importance of playing the groove and being a musician and playing for the song, you know, and that takes incredible maturity, because especially when you're young, you want to impress people, you want to show off, you know, because I know I did when I was younger. That was one of my main things. Got to play fast, want to play, you know, busy. I want to have all the chops, you know, and I really overlooked focusing on pocket and groove. And it took me a while to sort of realize the importance of that. Especially with all the musicians kind of busting my chops, saying things like, you know, saying, you got to get this together, man. Take, you know, or else, you know. So, you know, those kinds of things were important to me to get across. That's kind of my priority, is to sort of instill the importance that is still important, even though you may see people doing a million drum solos online. Playing the song is very important. You know,
this is something so true what you just mentioned. I was talking with one of my good bass player, Eric Auclair. I think you play with Eric Auclair.
Yeah.
So we had that discussion for a long time about like there's always a difference between play in your place, chopping, make all the chops as you want, but play in front of the people and assume it and be to really play for the people. And the people can feel that groove, and they will forget you and they will listen the song. This is you just jump to another step when the people like they avoid all the musician and they really like the song and they sing it. I love it. I mean, it for me is one of I was listening to Chaka Khan for a long time, like that, Erykah Badu or people like that is the same. Like I mean, Uji Bell is a good example of that. Like down, it's too packed, it's boom, boom, and you forget him. He's so in the music, it's incorporated. You know what I mean? It's all connected, and I love it. And
I'm happy when people dance.
Yeah,
if I'm playing and people are dancing, I'm super happy.
It's and it's not an easy thing to do that. And it's not about that, but you have to make it happen.
I want to say hi, Michelle. Que bola, Siri. And hi, Denis. I'm seeing the names come down here in the side.
Yeah, it's going all the time. What are your projects? Like, I mean, now COVID is something special, but when that's gonna pass, what are your coming project after that? Bands or zero
projects. Everything got canceled for the rest of the year. I have absolutely no jobs, no gigs. We're gonna go back teaching in the fall. We're just planning that now, how we're going to deliver things online if the pandemic is still going in September. But I'm practicing. I'm writing material. I've got a new record ready to go for my band, the Jazz Exiles. So I had wanted to record that this summer, but the whole that whole thing's been scrapped now, and just sort of everything's on hold until sort of some normalcy comes back. And
so your jazz band, by the way, is good. The people doesn't hear about it. Please, in the chat, put the link. People can go because it's a very good album. I listened to some of your songs, and it's very good.
Oh, thanks. I got two projects: the Jazz Exiles, which is more of a jazz fusion thing, and then I have my Fezziwig project, which is more of like a straight-ahead modern contemporary jazz thing. It's more acoustic piano, acoustic bass. The other one's electric bass, electric piano. So one's more fusiony, one's more jazzy. So.
Okay, well, I wish you have the gigs will back, but will take time. We're taking
eventually it will. It'll all come back. I mean, we're just trying to muster our way through the wait. And it's frustrating because let's face it, everyone here we're all creative people, right? And right now we're being stopped from being creative in the normal way that we are, which is playing music and playing with other people and joining other people to play. The connection. So we're missing that connection. So, the Zoom thing's been kind of cool to chat to people and hang out with friends, but I miss that. So as I said, my creativity is being put into sort of creating videos for YouTube. Just trying to play something, post it every 2 weeks. And I'm trying to keep the variety. I've done a big band, I've done a Tower Power thing, and David, who's up next. Hi, David. Yep. I don't know if you're watching, but David's a good friend now. We've been friends since 2007, so it's been great. But he was very, very kind to me, saying, "Hey, Mark, you sounded good playing his tune, right?" And I've been a fan of David since I was 13, right? So. Just I did that, a big band thing. I did a Afro-Cuban thing. I did the funk thing, funk fusion thing, and recently I just did a pop tune, a Stevie Nicks thing, where I just played percussion and sang. Okay. So I'm trying to break it up, and the next one I got a surprise. The next one's going to be a fun one when I put that up. Cool. Yeah.
All the guests we will start to post video, so please send me the video or the link, and we'll post it on Drumfield Cafe, because this summer it's only capsules pre-recorded, and there's no live or launch the real thing in September. So please send it to me, and I will be more than happy to.
I'll send you one link, and that'll send you to my YouTube channel, and then you can find them all.
Yeah, it'll be perfect. Time is over. Sorry, it's time to fly. If you have information, please go in the chat. You have a lot of friends. They say hi and they want to talk. And please put your information there that people can follow you from there.
How do I have to log in and sign up or something? Because I'm looking for the chat. Where do I write? In the private? There's a private chat, but live comments.
You can go to the Facebook or in the YouTube platform.
Okay, on the Facebook page. Okay, great. Is that where these are all coming from?
Yeah, but it's a mix. You can see on Facebook and who are on YouTube.
Okay, I see Agnea is posting stuff there of my. I have one of my former students posting my things already.
You see, they're so fast. People are very so cool. Hey, thanks, man. It's over. So sorry about that. I wish you all the best. Stay safe. Play some drums, and we'll see you soon. I was saying, to Randolph, I might be in Toronto in September. So there are big chances for a few days.
Call me. Yeah. Contact me and we'll hang out, okay?
Actually, I would like to go see Humber College. I never did. I would like to pass and say hi there.
Well, if we're back, I'll be happy to show you around for sure.
Maybe not physical. Maybe you won't teach physically. That's what you mean. Maybe we'll be online for.
Yeah. We're waiting, depending on what the government says, right? So,
okay. Well,
fingers crossed. Anyway, thank you, Eric. Always great to see you, man.
Thanks, man. See you later.
Ciao.
Bye-bye. Always good to have a chat with Mark. Well, just a little reminder, we'll go to the last artist. YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, please subscribe is the way we can get connected. But right now, Facebook is the main way to get connected to the channel with all information. If we have contests, new video, new product. So you can go right now on Facebook, Drumfield Cafe. All is there. All the artists have been on the show since the first show. Soon you will see more promotion from them, videos and all. Is the idea of the platform to make everybody has their place. And if you never have been on Drumfield Cafe before, the idea is to launch a channel where the people can talk about what they're doing, not just playing about. Maybe in the future, but for now is what they are thinking, what they're doing, what they have done. And actually the people can connect with you. I wanted to break the wall in theater so the people can have access to the artists. And actually it's going pretty well. We have a very big lineup. If you never have watched No One shows and it's your first time, please go on YouTube, Drumfield Cafe. All the videos are already pre-recorded there. I'm splitting Facebook and YouTube since 2 months. The first month you will see a lot of likes, a lot of views on YouTube. It's normal after 1 month it dropped because now people like better to watch the show on Facebook. That's why. So let's go for the last artist. I will instead to present him for a long time. We'll chat with him because he's a very good player. Play with Tower of Power. He wrote drum books. He's a clinician. He's from the Bay Area. He played drum for way long time. So let's.
It's really cool. It's actually pretty good. Oh.
David Garibaldi. How are you, man?
Hey.
Yeah, we're all right.
We'll let you go, man. All right, bye.
Sorry about that. I cut your phone call.
Wow, they snuck up on me, man. Hold on a second. Let me enable my headphones.
No worry, we have time. You're the last one. I have to respect around 20 minutes per person, 25 top. How are you doing?
Are we
cannot
on,
hear
or
you.
is you cannot hear me?
No, we can hear you now. Yeah, we can hear you now. You're back.
Good.
Yeah,
Good. Everything okay?
Yeah, we're on. All good.
Good.
We're on now.
All right. Okay. You snuck up on me. You said 5:20, so I was talking to one of my friends. We were kind of messing around here.
Sorry, because I told you that because I didn't know how long will be, but I really respect the time, and finally was the perfect timing. But anyway, it doesn't matter. You're there, all good. You're
Not a problem, man. Everything's good.
Hey, I see. Just before I see I have a pretty cool set in your back, so you can teach from there right now, and you practice all from your place, right? That's correct.
Yeah, this is my practice studio. It's pretty cool. A soundproof room in my garage. And I'm in here all the time, so lately I've been teaching out of here, doing, online lessons. And pretty soon I'm going to have it set up for recording so I can record in here. I've never had to do any of this because Tower Power is always busy all the time, but now we have no gigs. So, it's time to kind of think about maybe, some other things to do.
Yeah, and you were mentioning before the show, you usually this time of the year you're super busy. You have a lot of shows.
Yeah, a lot of shows where if we go to Europe, which we do often in the summertime, we're gone about now. Last year we were in Europe for 2 months, so it was kind of one tour, then a little break. So I went to Italy to be with my family, and then we finished a second leg. So very, very busy all the time. But that's okay. I mean, it's Tower Power history. That's what we do.
It's a great band, man. You're in a great band. Amazing. I've listened a lot of those tracks, and it sounds amazing. By the way, when you travel, do you bring your own drums or you go backline?
It all depends on where we are. When we travel in North America, we do North America. All of that. Mexico, we usually have our own gear.
Okay.
When we go to Europe, we have gear that we keep in Hamburg.
Okay.
So we go to Japan, gear is provided for us there. I usually get Yamaha drums everywhere.
Yeah, there
so,
is.
It's a combination of our own gear and then backline. So our road guys, they have sort of a road set up that they take. It's got all the accessories I like and all that stuff, special little things. And then, if it's backline, it's the drums. It's cool. It always works out. It's always good.
So this is you just mentioned something important. It's pretty nice when you have a company can help you out all around the world for backline, because it's a reality of drummer. You're not taking your guitar and you bring that guitar in the plane with you. You have a full drum set. You can bring a few things, but to have everything, it's good to have a good support. And you just mentioned something very important.
Yeah, well, we bring guitars and basses and that kind of stuff, and accessory items, so it's actually quite a lot of stuff that goes with us. But then again, we do get support from our company, especially with me, Yamaha, Sabian, Audix, they're really fantastic.
Yeah, I know. Oh yeah, they're great companies. Just switching to another, because something I wanted to ask. I'm just switching to something else. We're going back on time. I really worked. I told you I really worked on the book, the Funky Beat. I really destroyed your book. Sorry, I played it so much. I played all the tracks, and it's good. And it's still in my house. But I mean, I'm just saying. I mentioned it. Just like I think I turned the page so much. They're not. I have tapes on them. How you became with a book back then, because to write a book, it's a big step. It's a big evolution. I wrote a book like 2, but I mean, when you did a book like that, and how you start with your ideas to bring it to everybody can do it, and the tracks.
Well, I've always loved education. So kind of everybody idolizes players. I'm like everybody else. I have players that who I idolized and, tried to emulate when I was younger and what I learned from and all that. But I also loved teachers. And I was kind of like admired teachers in the same way that I admired players. Mm-hmm. And so, I've had 2 or 3 teachers, 3 teachers actually in my life who were kind of like mentor kind of guys and, people that like really, I still am learning their lessons today, if you know what I mean.
Yep.
It had such an impact on me, and so for me, teaching is really, really important. And I always like the idea of playing and teaching. I wanted to be a teacher.
Okay.
But play at the highest level that I could. And then also teach at the highest level that I could. So writing a book was something that I dreamt about doing. And so I had written a manuscript. It was I don't know, about this big. And it was like everything I thought about drumming. So I took it around and, to different people, and I didn't really understand the publishing world very well. So I was kind of not really pleased with what I was hearing from, some of these publishers. So there was a very famous man in the music publishing named Sandy Feldstein. And he had published drum books. He was like a really well-respected guy. He worked at Alfred Publishing. He was a former college professor at Potsdam University in New York. So he was like really knew his stuff. So I called him just to see if he would respond to me. He answered me. He answered my call. I called into his office. They put me through to him, and we had a very nice conversation. He was a big fan of Tower of Power, which really surprised me. And so we met. I took my manuscript in there. So he looked at it, and he took it home, and he said he looked at it and graded it kind of like a college paper. So he knew everything that was in it. He checked all of the subject matter and everything. So we met again, and he says, "I love your book, but," and when somebody says "but,"
it's a producer. Yeah,
that's bad.
We need to cut off.
He says, "But you don't have a subject. You need a subject." So I'm thinking, it's the drums. That was my thinking. It's the drums. That's the subject. So he says, "No, you need to pare it down to one thing that you want to say, and then we'll save the rest for other books." So I went home, and for 2 weeks, I thought about it almost nonstop for 2 weeks. I could not figure out what it was going to be. Then I'm sitting in my practice room one day, and I realized that the thing I liked the most, the thing that attracted me the most about drumming was the beats.
Yeah,
I love the beats, those funky beats, and James Brown and soul music and
meters or whatever. Yeah,
the groove. No fills, just a cool groove, right? And that's what excited me the most: hi-hat, snare drum, and bass drum. So I said, that's it. So I went back and told him that that's what I think it should be: hi-hat, snare drum, and bass drum. He shook my hand. He said, "Let's get to work." And so, he was such a wise man. He knew that that's what my subject should be, but he didn't influence my decision in any way. And all the times we worked together, we did videos together, we did a couple books. He never once told me what to do. He would ask me questions.
Guiding.
He knew what I should do, but he always asked the right questions so that I would ask myself what it was that I had to do, and made me think. And it was brilliant. So he kind of always, just by the way that he talked and his friendship, it steered me into the right path. It's fantastic. So that's kind of, my books sort of evolved from that. And then I always get these ideas for books and things that I want to say and things I want to do, and they start like, when you do a sculpture and you have this block of stone, the idea is a block of stone, and you see an image in there. It could be this. And so that's kind of how I approach doing a book. I start with a little shell of an idea, and then I start building it. And it kind of, as it grows and grows, I expand it. I develop things. I take things away. I'll work on it for a little while, and then I'll get to a place where I've exhausted my thinking about it, and I'll stop and back away.
Yeah.
And then come back to it. So I always kind of back away, come back to it, back away, come back to it. So it's this process of always just kind of looking at it and refining and seeing what it is that needs to be done for the next thing. And then pretty soon you just get the sense that, okay, it's complete. You got to say something now.
It's
so
keep going. Sorry, okay, keep going. Sorry.
Well, so then recently I'm starting another one.
Yeah, that's what my next point is. That then now you have another book coming. So
yeah, I have a new one that I'm going to start. And so I had the idea for this a couple years ago. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but it's really cool. It's really different. And so I had the idea, but I didn't have it assembled yet in any kind of form. I just kind of all of a sudden got this picture of what I thought it could be.
Mm-hmm.
And I just kept building that idea. Pretty soon I put together material, and I kept adding to a database of material that I have based on my notebooks, my practice notebooks. And pretty soon, I guess, I don't know, maybe the beginning of the year, I realized, okay, I have enough to start. And so when all of this, the pandemic thing started, and, everybody lost gigs and you're home and all that, then I was able to kind of like really think about it a little bit more, and then, talk with a publisher, we're going to get started, So now that we're in that process of getting everything started, we kind of know what we're going to do. And so now I'm going to, keep rolling, keep it going until it's done.
I think it's the hardest part, like you mentioned, like to really, we can have so many ideas, but to focus on something and make it happen, I think is the hardest part, because we could put whatever ideas we have, but to make it everybody can look at it and understand as a product, like in some ways it's hard.
Yes.
It's so hard. I remember in your first book, what was cool, because you mentioned you like beats, and what I think why that book became cool, first the song, they were good, and like the rhythm were good, and the hi-hat, you have a lot of good touch on the hi-hat patterns. It was not a simple, like just it sometimes was feeling normal, but you have an accent or something just at the right place, make it that groovier, you know what I mean? And it was innovative for those years back. Now if you go in the gospel shop, you have another thing, you know what I mean? But as an education book, it's bring you everywhere. I've seen a long time ago the drummer from Primus, Tim Alexander, like a long time ago, and he was mentioning something so cool. He was giving an exercise about hi-hat. It's like I would just move the downbeat on the hi-hat or the accent on the 1 and the 3, and after that, okay, on the second 16 note, but he was just moving that, but the kick snare was always so only that was changing that. And I was kid, I was maybe 17 years old. It changed my life. I realized I was like, okay, I will do that only with accent. So your book has good ideas. And I will say that for the people watching the show, if you never check it out, your books, you go back, go get the books, buy it, and practice those beats. And you did a good job.
I think the one to check out, though, is the one called Future Sounds. That's the first one that's the first one I did, and that kind of outlines the whole idea of the accents and the ghosted notes and all of that stuff. It kind of, and then in the context of grooves, and then using the permutation to kind of move the beats around in different places. It's really, really great for that. It's concept that you can apply to your own playing. The design of my books, I never was interested in having people play like me. I just wanted to get information out there that would be helpful to people when they're building their concept. So the basic thing about my books that is an overall concept, all my books, is that thing about the sound levels, developing a sound, accents, non-accents, rim shot, ghost notes, all that stuff, and the balance of those three voices, the hi-hat, snare drum, and bass drum, and getting that right. Because if you have that right, then you can apply that to your own ideas, in any context. You don't have to play stuff out of the book. You just need a concept. And that's so important, to have a really good sound. So that was the whole idea. I never wanted people to play like me. I never thought about that at all. What I just was like a presentation of ideas of things that you could try to inspire your creativity, because that's what this is really all about, that we do, It's about creating, creating your voice, creating a space for yourself to do what you do. So that's kind of what my thinking, is.
Giving you tools to be a better musician.
Yes, absolutely so. Absolutely.
Yeah. It's a good point, because I always tell my student, like, you don't need to play all the music note in the first bar you will play. You can have millions of notes in your head, like patterns or rhythm or whatever. You have a lot of tools. So when the situation will arrive, you will have those tools to play. Because sometimes, okay, I was guessing a few things with my student. I was asking them, okay, play a cha-cha. I don't know. I can play a death metal song, but I know it was a cha-cha. But it's an example. So what you need to know, what is a cha-cha. You don't need to know 25 variation, but if you have at least one or two, it's an example, samba. So whatever style you play, is always good to have the most tool as you can, and you're going to be a better player in whatever style you will play.
Another interesting thing too is, when you're building your voice, I remember, actually, I've been getting together about 3 times a week with Mike Clark, Greg Rico, Michael Shreve, and Lenny White. We all met together in the Bay Area in late 1970, early 1971.
Okay.
So we've been getting together just to we're going to do a little something together. So we've been just talk and share stories and talk about musical concept and all this other things,
Mm-hmm.
So what's interesting is that we all met at the same time. We used to spend a lot of time together. We would go to each other's gigs. We would talk all the time, but we did not copy each other. And so if you listen to all of those players that I mentioned, everybody had a really unique signature, personalization in the way that they play, the way that they approach their music. And that is, to me, what this is all about, playing. You develop your own voice. You don't, oh man, sorry.
No,
somebody just called in here for a second. I forgot to shut. Sorry. So it was like, what was I talking about? Oh, developing a voice.
Maybe like you were like all those guys have different signature and
yeah, right. So nobody was copying each other. No one was copying each other. Everyone had their own voice, and you were inspired by the other person, but you would never copy them. Mm-hmm. That was no. You don't want to be doing that, right? Because our heroes had a really unique personality. You could listen to them and knew who it was without seeing who it was or anything. You could hear them. Mm-hmm. You knew it was Elvin Jones. You knew it was Tony Williams. You knew it was Sonny Payne with Count Basie. You knew it was, Jabba with James Brown or whoever those drummers, those James Brown drummers. They all had a signature. And to me, that's the coolest thing about this is that you can create a voice for yourself. It has nothing to do with a famous person or anything like that. You're creating a space for you so that you can have a signature just like your handwriting.
For sure.
People don't argue about that. The cool thing too, another thing I really notice about when I hang with these guys is everyone, it's the era that we came from too. There wasn't video and there wasn't YouTube. There wasn't the internet to look at. You had to use your imagination to imagine what it was that you were listening to.
Oh, yeah.
If you wanted to copy something, you had to imagine it. Well, what are they doing here? And then you try it, right? Uh-huh. So listening to, I used to listen to Bernard Purdie. I loved Bernard Purdie.
Amazing.
He really just attracted me because he's really precise and cool groove and all that. So I would really break down his playing. And this was like with the turntable. So I would pick a song that I liked and I would listen to only his hi-hat. And I'd really try to pick out the hi-hat parts. And then when I thought I had some of that, then I would go back and I would listen to the snare drum part, see the ghosted notes, because he had all this thing that sounded like layering in his playing.
Yeah.
And then I would listen to the bass drum and then try to build a concept around the things that I was hearing using my imagination. Then when I eventually met him and discovered that is not what he was doing, not even close, I thought, okay, well, I'm already doing something that's working really good. So I just followed that path that I was on. But it's interesting. Imagination is so important today. We have all this media to look at. You have lots. So to me, there's a lot of the same kind of drummer walking around today. And I don't say this in a bad way. I just say that this is kind of a product of the way that things are done.
Yeah.
So
totally.
in a way, all the media takes away your imagination. It takes it out of it. So that, you develop a unique voice. There are players that do have a unique voice, some really cool ones, but I think it's more difficult today because there's there's so much of the same guy walking around.
The sound too. The sound can be compressed. There's a lot of things that can affect that too. And you mentioned Bernard Purdie. I saw him a few years ago. He's a super funny person. He's a very good person, very animated, and he's talking like he met you forever. So super funny guy. But when you say something about the hi-hat, I remember he has his own touch with his, like he would be like the swing in the hi-hat it's so cool. I mean, it's his thing. And I was like, that's nice. I really dig it.
Don't get me wrong about how people learn. And when I say it's the same drummer walking around, that's not a criticism in any way. That's just an observation because that's what I hear sometimes, and it's natural because there's so much input that we have visual, input. We see what people are doing. We couldn't before, and so now it just influences learning, to a really high degree.
No, but you're right, because I had that discussion with Rick Latham. Rick Latham told me something and we were talking about the solo drum he wrote in the Yellow Book, and some people didn't get that groove because they went online and they copied exactly the copy paste of the playing, but they couldn't read the book, so they could play the chop, the pattern, but they didn't have that feel. And I had the same situation with some of my students. For example, I was pointing one bar and said, can you redo the bar 8? There's a feel. They couldn't. They have to restart from scratch because they never took the energy to learn to read or read from the page complete. They went on YouTube. They checked out one guy playing the solo somewhere, but with the bad feel. And the other day, I asked Rick, can you play? Because he has his drum like you have now. And he's like, I would like to do it. So he played exactly the first start of one solo, so the people can really get that feel. He wrote in 78, I guess, 77 or 80, something like that.
Cool. That's cool. That's really cool, yeah.
Hey, the time flies. We have like 5 minutes, sorry, because the time was passed so fast. It's so interesting. And but we'll do it again. Thank you for your time.
I would love to.
You mentioned a lot of people like making inspiration for what you're doing now or back in the days. Do you have like guys or girls right now? You can say like in the modern eras they are like more what I'm not more like what I like do, but they are like new inspiration for me, because you talk about people from the 50s, 60s, like. But if do you have any new influences like from those years, or it's you don't really mind? just a funny question.
So are you talking about like current players?
Current. You have a few current players you can say they really inspire you, or you only refer to the one like when you were like kids or teenager mostly?
Well, I mean, those older ones always influence me because it's just such intelligent playing. I mean, when you think about, like, for instance, that song, that James Brown song by Clyde, I Got the Feeling, with Clyde Stubblefield playing drums. That was 1968. So when you listen to it today, it sounds like the most badass drummer ever.
Yeah,
and it's
true.
1968, and it sounds so great today. But players that, today, two players that I really like, that I really admire, are Eric Harlan and Ash Sohn.
Ash Sohn is super nice.
Yeah, so those are two guys that really inspire me. I think they're really fabulous players. They can do a lot of different things, and they're very nice people. Really, really nice people. Also, I think Greg Bissonette is another guy too. You know, he's a really good friend of mine and very, very creative. You know, fabulous player. You know,
it's funny you mentioned that because I was watching one of his videos yesterday. Greg Bissonette on the Dixon new kit, and he was grooving one song so cool, so good, so laid back. I mean, it was, I mean, like, and it's all there. There's nothing for nothing. If he plays something at that place, it's because the song need that thing at that place. It's super well.
He's a studio musician, you know, now, you know, so he wasn't that when he first came to LA, but has, you know, become a really great studio musician, just like Vinny, you know, and all the great studio players there. You know, I also have to say that to me, still, Tony Williams and Elvin Jones they have far-reaching effect.
Yep.
You know, they'll be studied in the future for generations because of their brilliance, you know, what they brought to the art of what we do, you know, our art. Another guy too is you know, Zig, you know, Modaliste with you know, with the meters, you know. He was doing all that great funky, you know, stuff, all broken up and everything in 1968, 69. You know, it's stunning that was going on. So, you know, there's a lot of great players. There have been for many, many years. I mean, I don't spend a lot of time listening to drummers because I just like music. I like trumpet players, you know. You know, I like keyboard players, that kind of stuff. But I just like music, you know.
That's so cool. Hey, what are your? I know where COVID is kind of changing, but what are your more like project in like the next 6 months? Are you going? Because you told me you're kind of teaching a little bit. You're doing new recording. What are your coming project like? Except the book, we talk about the book.
Well, you know, I'm going to redo my studio here to do recording in it. You know, I don't have any recording projects scheduled yet. I'm sure I will. You know,
for sure.
Tower is not working at the moment, so we been told that maybe October will start. You know, and we have a trip to Europe scheduled. You know, in October, November. I have no idea what's going to happen. You know, they moved a lot of our work into next year. So, in the meantime, I'm just, you know, like building my playing. You know, keep adding to my practice notebook, which we never really got to talk about. You know, I have a notebook, like a practice journal, you know, that I keep stuff in all the time. And, you know, use that as kind of source material for all the work that I like to do, the playing I like to do. So I do that, you know, work on my book project. I practice every day. So life is good. Yeah, I exercise, you know, life is good.
Keep good health. Stay healthy and stay safe is the best. I know. Well, thank you so much for passing by Drumfield Cafe. We're gonna keep in touch for sure, David. It was super nice to have you. More interesting. I could have like talked with you forever, but
very nice. Thank you. I appreciate you having me on.
But next time I will go to the Bay Area. By the way, when I don't even realize my phone is from the Bay Area because I was living in the Bay Area. Yeah, my first like in 2003, I was back in Fort Worth there for a long time, and I went to the Yoshi, and my first show was Billy Cobham with his jazz band, Random, and I didn't know the Yoshi like back 2003 or 4, and I've been there for a long time. I was living in the island of Alameda, the little in the
next to Oakland.
Yeah, I was just next by. And last time I was there was 2-3 years ago on tour, and I was in San Francisco at that time. So I love that. The Bay Area is amazing place.
I saw your phone number 415. I go, wait a minute here. You know?
Yeah, I have it for 5 years, I guess 6 years. Hey, thanks, man. Thanks a lot. I wish you the best. And if you have time, please go in the chat before it's finishing. If you have things to write. There's a chat going. People say hi and all, and you can maybe say hi to a few people. Maybe the people.
Do I have to log in to do it or anything? Can I just?
No, you can go on YouTube or on Facebook. You can just comment, and that's it.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
I wish you good luck and have a.
All right, brother. Thank you so much, man.
Stay safe.
Thank you. You as well.
Bye bye. So it was quite fast. Sorry, guys. So I just want to mention, if you have to, please, before we go out, please subscribe YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram from Drumfield Cafe. The 4th of June, there's Nasir Abdullah Kabir, sorry, 17. Nasir Abdullah Kabir, Joel Stevenette, Don Lombardi, Paul Bostaff, Jim Riley, and Matt Alpern are going to be the guests on the show. June 16, I have a French show, but Thomas Pridgeon is at the end as a special guest. And next week, we have a French show, the 9th. It's a student contest. You're more than welcome to stop by. And after that, the season will restart September 15. I'm super excited and thrilled to present you the new member of Drumfield Cafe, because I will have like a team, a production team to work on that channel. It won't be just a EP project. Like, we're gonna have like a 4 or 5 person working for the project, and it's gonna be bigger and bigger. And I'm very excited to present you those new members. And thank you for being on the show tonight. It was a long show, but I wanted to deliver 2 big show World Edition before the summer. And yeah, stay tuned. And thank you. My name is Eric Boudreau, and thank you for being on Drumfield Cafe. See you next, I think, 2 weeks.